everybody, and welcome to an enlightening wild ride with Steveo. Anybody who is a regular listener of this podcast knows how big of a deal this episode is. It is the author of the books that I rave about constantly called Conversations with God. And I call Neale Donald Walsch my life coach because from his books I have developed my understanding of life and the universe. I'm telling you, this is my favorite guest. I was dying to get him. So, get ready and let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, my life coach, Neale Donald Walsch. I have spoken so often about how much your books, Conversation with God, have helped me. The most traumatic thing that ever I went through, my mom suffered an aneurysm and she survived it, but she came out heinously physically and mentally disabled, and she had bed sores. I developed a real anger towards God, and by changing my perspective to that, all of a sudden, God didn't allow that to happen to my mom. There's no separation there. That was God. God, my mom is God, and so that that helped a lot. It really, really did. It's still, I would echo what you said. I don't understand it. I don't like it, but I think I view it more as natural law of cause and effect. Like if my mom had alcoholism. She smoked for many, many years, and I can understand that
consequences.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the existence of the human soul?
Yes.
Do you believe in the existence of this entity or this essence that we call God?
Yes.
Steve, what in your awareness is the relationship between the soul and God?
They are one and the same. That, God in the absolute is pure love. It's one thing, but being only one thing, it cannot have experience. So God in the absolute divides itself into many different things, which creates the realm of the relative. So, but all things are God.
So let me ask you a question. Can God, as you understand God to be victimized in any way? That is, can anything happen to God that God does not want to have happen?
No.
If the soul is one with God, can anything happen to the soul that the soul does not want to have happen? Can the soul be victimized in any way?
No.
Then why would your mother's soul choose to experience what she experienced the last 5 years of her life?
That's a tough one. I don't know.
No, but if you thought you knew, what would your answer be?
If I thought I knew, it feels like a stretch, but the journey that I went on from being so traumatized by everything that happened, and then the shift in the perspective, and I don't know, there's something, there's something about my journey in working through that and overcoming it that I could see has value.
Steve-o, do you think at the soul level your mother might have known that? That her situation and the condition in which she found herself would have an impact and an effect on you that would change your life for the better?
I could.
I want you to consider the possibility then that your mother, at the level of soul, was not unaware or ignorant of the fact that I've just described, and that her last 5 years and what she went through at a physical level was her final act of love for you.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's a tough one, but I'll take it.
Does it have anything to do with like soul contracts?
Precisely.
I mean, that's her acting out her contract.
Knowing that what I'm going to move through now will bring enormous benefit ultimately to my son, and will open him to an awareness of so many different things that he would not have been open to if he hadn't been visited by that kind of emotionally traumatic experience in life.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of an emotional traumatic experience could really open my son to an awareness that I already hold at a spiritual level? See, I think that your mom graduated from her own misbehaviors at a spiritual level. Her soul knows, that is not really the way to go. Not the way to make the best use of this physical life. I wonder how I could say that to my son, that he would really get it. Because if I just said it verbally, don't do what I did, and so forth, he would probably nod, yeah, okay, Mom, and then blow it off. But what if I found some way? In fact, what if we agreed ahead of time, soul contract, that we would have this opportunity for me to send that message to him in a way that would be so searingly present he couldn't possibly ignore it. So I'm going to suggest that when I was told by God in my conversations, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Nothing happens without a understanding reason on the part of all the, if I could put it this way, all the players in the game, all the actors in the scene. Then you could almost, at some level, release any lingering sadness you have about what your mom went through, and see it as her act of courage, bravery, and her final act of love for you. And by the way, if your mom was sitting between us right now, she'd be saying, Neale, you nailed it.
Yeah, she'd probably say something to the effect of like, that's what it took to get through his
thick skull,
fat, thick, stupid head. Or something. She was always...
Me too, buddy.
Yeah.
Shake hands on that. Me too.
Right.
It took me 55 years of my life to get through my thick skull. What was really going on here? Who I really am? What the purpose of this whole thing is? I mean, I blew off half a century of my life, not knowing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that, and I think you can make great progress to figuring out who you are and what it's all about, and then you can just lose it. It's glimpses that we see it in, and then those glimpses just fade into. I think that I do that a lot. Yeah. I think I kind of get to it, and I feel like really plugged in, and then I lose it. I do want to ask about soul contracts. Now, not from conversations with God, but from other sources. I've seen about how the soul contract, it's a blueprint for life, and kind of choosing what experiences we want to have in our body in order to work something out, have some experience, and evolve in a certain way. And in putting together this soul contract, this blueprint for a life, at that point, we're not in a body. We're so I suppose in between lives. We're a spiritual entity, and as that spiritual entity, I've heard that we will choose our parents. We'll choose our parents. We will make an outline for events that are predetermined, which are going to shape the experience that we're going to have in our life. And then when the agreement is made, part of the agreement is that as we enter the body, as we incarnate as a human, that we forget the whole deal. And then we're kind of, because if we knew the deal, it would invalidate the experience. But my question is, how does the idea of a blueprint, of a life contract with things predetermined built into it,
how does that reconcile with free will?
How does that, how does that jive with free will?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask this question so badly for the longest time. And I might add that I believe strongly if there is a blueprint for my life, then it involved figuring out the difference between wiping my butt and washing my butt, because it is a big difference. Are you still using dry toilet paper to just smear poop all over your butthole? I mean, come on, you're out of your mind. You've got to get hip to the butt washing program from hellotushy.com. This is revolutionary. It has changed my life, man. I love blasting my butthole with a refreshing stream of water from my bidet from Hello Tushy. I'm telling you, man, it cuts down on your use of toilet paper by 80%. And as such, the thing pays for itself in no time. It also doesn't require any special extra plumbing or any special electricity. You just attach it to your toilet and you're good to go. Plus, if you go to hellotushy.com/Stevo, then you get 10% off your first order. I've raved about this company since the beginning of this podcast, and I have always said they are my favorite sponsor of this podcast. It is hellotushy.com/Stevo, and use the promo code Stevo for 10% off your first order. Now, let's get back to it.
You said a number of things there that I wanted to interrupt you with or on when you said them, but I wanted to give you the chance to make your mistake. I mean, to go on. I meant to go on with your statement.
I love it.
First of all, knowing that you made some comment of knowing ahead of time what's going to happen, you said that one of the last things you said so we have to forget. We have to agree to enter into temporary amnesia. Otherwise, if we knew ahead of time what was going to happen, it would invalidate the whole experience. Stevo, having appeared in probably 36 or 39 separate stage productions, on stage as an actor, I mean. I've also directed many shows, but I've had a rich background in live theater. I can tell you that isn't true. I've done dramatic roles in which, of course, I knew ahead of time what was going to happen in the next moment, in the next scene, because we rehearsed it for 3 weeks, and I knew exactly what the next scene was going to be, what the lines were going to be. That didn't stop me from feeling the emotions and feeling them deeply, as if it was happening to me for the first time. And all and not that I am a great actor, but all really great actors would tell you that that's been exactly their experience. They cry real tears, not make-believe tears, when they move through a particular scene that they've done for 5 years on Broadway. But they still have the emotional response. Because the mind cannot stop itself, if it's truly engaged in the moment, from responding in the way that love would call forth, even if they know that what's going on is play acting, in a sense. You know, it's you wouldn't know what it cost me to have those people out there doing that
At the right time.
Well, yeah, I've paid them a lot of money to interrupt.
I'm gonna tell them this.
So I'm not altogether convinced that knowing ahead of time would stop us or prohibit us from having an emotional response, a genuine one. I've encountered moments in stage plays in which I've appeared where I knew what was coming, and even knowing what was coming triggered the emotional response that what occurred in the play was designed to trigger. So that's one thing I just wanted to say, is that I'm not sure that we have to not know in order to have a genuine emotional response and have the experience that we came here to experience. But now, let me go back to something before that you said that I also am not sure that I totally agree with. I don't think that there's a blueprint. I don't think that we have a contract that says, you know, on a certain day at a certain time, you're going to sit down with a man named Steve-O and have a conversation in which you make him terribly wrong for 3.5 minutes. And he laughs at it. I don't think that this experience was agreed upon by us, nor do I think the major events of my life were agreed upon in terms of the events themselves. So my understanding, because I asked God the same question. Wait a minute. How can there be a contract? How can there be an agreement and also be free will? They seem to be juxtaposed. So God said, good question. The understanding that I have, Steve-O, is that events are not planned ahead of time. We don't have predestination and free will are mutually exclusive. Right. But what the souls do agree with is to create certain emotionally filled opportunities. But how that will play out in terms of a specific event is not designed ahead of time. So to use the present example of your mother's last 5 years of her life as an example, she might have in fact, I don't think she might have, I think there's no question that she made an agreement with your soul. You guys made an agreement. How about if I provide you with an opportunity emotionally to grapple with deep personal sadness, maybe even at some level emotional injury, such that it would transform and change your life and bring you to a new understanding that you are going to go into your next lifetime in order to have. And you could have had that contract, say, okay, I'll sign here, let's do that. So we agree on the emotional content that we're going to seek to create for each other, but we don't agree on, it's going to happen on the 14th of July at 2:30 in the afternoon, and I'm going to be having bed sores for 5 years, right. And this is how it's going to look, because that would make free will impossible. Right. So my understanding is that we agree on the emotional content, but we don't. We're like players in an orchestra, Steve-O. The analogy that God gave me was, there's a 67-piece orchestra, and by the way, I've conducted orchestras, so I know all about what this feels like. They're all playing Mozart. but one guy's playing a flute, one lady's playing a violin, one fellow's playing the timpani, and one man is on a saxophone. They're playing the same music, but in different ways, using different instruments. So I think that this whole contract is an agreement on what music will play. Now that you know the score, you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Is that a play on words you love or what?
I love it.
So we're all playing Mozart, but you're on the violin, you're on the cello, I'm on the timpani, and we're playing it the way we are playing it. And in that way, free will is memorialized. Free will is protected. Free will continues to be part of our experience. We freely choose to enter into particular interactions on the physical level as the way we have decided we're going to keep our agreement in terms of providing emotional content for each other to grow with.
Okay. I think that there is a potential wrinkle here when we talk about other players in the universal game joining us. And does that, can you help me understand what happens when another player in the game becomes involved in my life?
I think it's important for us to understand that everything that's ever happened is happening now and ever will happen has already occurred.
Right.
So when another person joins in the interaction in some way or another, they're also doing so, I'm not sure where the wrinkle is, because they're also doing so as an expression of their free will. That is, they have a choice to do that or not to do that. And by the way, both things have occurred. See, it's very important for us to understand what's going on here. Both, let's just say, your co-host's name again is?
Scott.
Scott. So let's just say that now Scott is sitting there and he's interacting with all of us. But it was also a moment when we did this interview when Scott was not here at all. In fact, you never even met Scott. He wasn't even part of your life. Both things have happened.
Right.
And so what I was told in conversation, I know this sounds like I'm making it up as I go along, but really, this is really important because I asked these same kinds of questions in my dialogue with God. And she said, Neale, it's really very simple. You think there's only one timeline, but there are 100 different timelines in which everything has occurred. And I said, I'm having a hard time conceptualizing it. I can hear the words, but I can't quite get that in my mind. And God said, okay, have you ever played chess with a computer? I said, sure, I've played computer chess. God said, you do understand, of course, that all the moves have already been made. Every single move in the game has been made. So you play the game on Thursday, and you move, king's pawn to king's pawn 4 or whatever, and then the computer goes, makes its move, and you make your move, and it makes its move. How does it know what move to make? It's because you've already made that move. It's already happened. But on Friday, you play the same game and you make a different move. So you can play the computer chess game, and you have to understand that all the moves that are possible with all the players on the board at any given moment have already occurred. The game's been played already 1,000 times. That's how they programmed the game, because computer chess experts sat down and said, well, okay, but supposing you didn't move your knight there, suppose you moved it over here. And they took months programming the game so that no matter how you play it, the computer has an answer. I sat there, I played computer chess, Stevo, whatever. I was play the game, and the computer would make its move, and I'd spend like 2.5, 3 minutes trying to figure out, let's see, now if I move the rook here, no, wait, I'll move, no, if I did that, he's going to do that. Oh, like you play chess. So I figured out all the moves. I thought, okay, I'll move over here. It took me 3.5 minutes to make that move. The computer sees the move, it goes, makes its move in 1/10 of a second. So, wait a minute, don't you have to even think about it? So, It's already happened. This is not a new thing for me.
Right.
So the answer to your question is, as I understand it, Steve-O, is that when a person comes into your life, they're also exercising free will. And there have been many lifetimes, many times through the time tunnel when that person did not come at that moment into your life.
I wasn't thinking as much of people. I was thinking, and in my reading of the book, I'll highlight certain things. And I was going through it, and there was, it said players with a capital P in the universal game, and they'll come into your life. And I didn't interpret that as people, but like more, spiritual entities, I suppose.
I think that's a fair interpretation. My mind is telling me that also could be true.
Yeah.
That we are visited by spiritual entities, angels, your guardian angel, whatever you want to call it. And I by the way, I've had those experiences as well.
Yeah, and the reason why I ask that is because I feel somewhat strongly that there were times in my life where, for lack of a better way to describe it, I want to say there were times when I wasn't at the wheel. Like, I did something that makes no sense to me. Like, why did I do that? And I felt that it was important that this thing happened, but looking back on it, I just don't see. I don't understand why it happened. I don't understand why I did it, and I feel like I wasn't at the wheel. Maybe there was some other player in the universal game that kind of stepped in and somehow manipulated what happened for a desired outcome. Now, I reserve the right to be totally wrong about that, but I wanted to put that to you about, like, what are your thoughts about if there ever being a time when I wasn't at the wheel because another spiritual entity manipulated what happened with me?
I disagree with that particular description because that would also violate free will.
Right, that makes sense.
And so that another entity could not cause you to not be at the wheel.
Okay.
But here's what I do think happens in moments like that, because I've had those moments too. When it felt like I wasn't at the wheel, excuse me, and it felt like I wasn't at the wheel, not because I wasn't at the wheel, but because I didn't know that I was.
Right.
And I didn't know that I was because I was at the wheel, to use the metaphor, driving the vehicle of my life from a different level of consciousness. I'm aware that we're functioning in every moment of our life at the subconscious, at the conscious, at the superconscious, and at the supraconscious level. And when we're responding from the supraconscious level, or even the superconscious level, we also often do things that we are not consciously aware of why we're doing that. What would cause me to do that? Why would I, like you described? Why would I do that? So I think that those moments are moments when we are functioning at the super or supraconscious level, at a level that our conscious mind is not aware of. But that does not mean that the totality of who we are,
right,
at all four levels, is not at the wheel. It just means that we're not aware that we are at the wheel.
Right.
It's kind of like, when you're sleeping and you're not aware that you're awake, but you are awake and you still think you're dreaming. Most of us have had that experience, only to realize, wait a minute, I didn't dream I didn't dream I heard that sound. I actually heard that sound. I'm not. Right. My God, you mean I've been awake all this while? And most of us have had that experience of realizing that we're awake, but not knowing that we were awake while we are awake until we awaken to the fact that we're awake.
It's important to know if you're awake, and it's also really nice to know how well you slept last night, how much time was spent in REM sleep. Let me see right here. I had 32.7% of my time asleep last night was in REM sleep. That might indicate my body is making up for not getting enough REM sleep recently. How do I know that? Because I wear a Whoop band. And if you listen to this podcast, then you know a lot of really awesome people wear Whoop bands. Why? Because it's the most sophisticated fitness tracking device known to man. Plus, now it tells you how oxygenated your blood is, if there's anything unusual about your skin temperature. I mean, dude, it knows, like, if I'm skateboarding like I did yesterday. It keeps track of all the calories I'm burning, how well I'm recovering. I love my Whoop band, and I love the Whoop app. And if you go to whoop.com, that's WHOOP.com, and use the promo code STEVO, you can get 10% off your membership. And I'm telling you, with the new Whoop 4.0 band and the waterproof charger, man, it's never been more awesome to wear a Whoop band. So jump on this deal. It's 10% off your first order, and it is at whoop.com with the promo code STEVO. Now let's get back to it. Yeah. I think potentially an equally valid interpretation of
You gotta love it, right?
Yeah.
You gotta love. I mean, you gotta love the mystery. You gotta love the mystery. Excuse me, but
Oh no, it's great.
I mean,
So are highly evolved beings operating at the supra-conscious level, or is it just a different ballgame at that?
I think both are true. I'm not suggesting that highly evolved beings are interfering. See, highly evolved beings would never interfere with our life. That's another reason why they couldn't do
Right.
what you're suggesting, Steve-O. Because a highly evolved being would never want to have anything to do with your life. That would control the moment for you
Right.
and take your hands off the wheel. That would violate the ethics of a highly evolved being. That said, no, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'll give him advice. I'll maybe give him a little, but I'm not going to take the wheel from him, and then make him think that he lost control of the car. So highly evolved beings would never do such a thing, in my understanding.
Right. I think that's very fair to say, and I think an equally valid interpretation would be that when I thought, like, what I thought might have been another player stepping in and manipulating my experience was actually me, right? Like, that other player was me.
Bingo.
You know? So
That's what I've been trying to say, except you put it in 10 seconds words. 10 words, and I put it into 150 words. Darn it.
At least.
it was something that you just said too about that would violate the ethics, and I think it wouldn't just violate the ethics of highly evolved beings, but it would violate the immutable laws of the universe.
Well, of course, Star Trek.
Yeah.
And what was the prime directive?
I can't.
Well, the prime directive was, you were not to interfere in any way in the cultural or sociological or spiritual development of another civilization, even though you would see it was for their own good, not to interfere.
Right.
That's the whole point of the prime directive.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of my life where I was experiencing what's called psychosis, because I was ingesting just all of these substances. I would be awake for days on end, doing cocaine and inhaling with inhalants and all these combinations of sleep deprivation and acute intoxication from the substances would bring about psychosis. And my take on that, still to this day, approaching 15 years of chemical sobriety, is that...
Nice going, by the way.
Thank you. I genuinely believe that by ingesting all of those substances, I managed to erode barriers between maybe other dimensions, other situations. I hold in my belief that all of the experiences that I had with hearing voices, with having tactile hallucinations, all of these experiences that I had were very, very real, and that by eroding the barriers of different compartments of the game, that I let in, I consider it frequencies, but I let in, other energies, other frequencies, high frequencies, low frequencies. So I opened myself up to pretty dangerous stuff, like high frequencies being angels, low frequencies being demons. And I had some experiences really scary and some really wonderful, and I view it as a really crude approach to spiritual experience. And in these hallucinations, hearing the voices, there was I called it the committee, and I would be kind of communicating with this committee of, and I remember the committee being very, very clear on that rule, that their hands are off. They're not going to interfere with anything. But I just wonder what your thoughts are on that, on psychosis, and because at the time I just wanted to keep in piling more substance, and to keep these things happening. I had some really wild experiences, and
that's the danger of it. The danger of it is that it becomes attractive enough at that level for us to want to continue. Now, I really can't answer your question directly, what do I think of it, because I've never had an experience even close to that. So I don't really have an opinion, and I didn't ask in my conversations with God questions around that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tried real hard in my life not to opine.
Okay.
By the way, if you think it's easy to work that word into a sentence, try it sometime. You can go years without being...
I've heard it done once in my life. Yeah. This is the second.
So I try to not offer opinions on things of which I have no experience, no background, no understanding, and I did not ask in my conversations with God. But when I heard you talking about it just now, my mind was going, I hope that there's not going to be too attractive a picture painted here that would cause a person to say, well, hell, I could see that as a good rationale, a good reason to ingest some things that maybe not be good for me to ingest or to imbibe or to... So we could maybe send the wrong...
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and there is a wealth of evidence, video evidence. Like where I was not an attractive place. I can assure that my life was an absolute disaster, and I was a very unlovely creature. I became at that time capable of being very nasty. I think it's a spiritual law that the way we treat others is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And at that time in my life, my self-esteem, my self-worth, everything about me was degraded to a point that the way I treated others, I had tendencies to want to harm people's reputations, hurt their feelings. And all of that behavior during that time brought about a level of guilt and shame and humiliation, which ultimately would become the greatest motivation for me to dedicate myself to a life of recovery, to not be that way again. So I love that you were sensitive to the idea that we might be that I might be glorifying these spiritual experiences when in fact they were
inadvertently, of course, inadvertently, but that someone else could hear that and say,
Sounds fun.
Right.
Sounds like at least interesting. Yeah. Give it a try.
Yeah, I don't recommend inviting demons into your life. That's really what it was.
Can I just wrap my head around some things, and maybe you can help me if I'm saying this right and have an understanding. All things are energy, right?
Yes, that's my understanding.
So
consciousness.
Well, plants, trees, people, we all vibrate at a certain frequency. People vibrate within a frequency
spectrum.
A spectrum. The lower the vibration, I heard Wayne Dyer talk about this, but I'm not sure how accurate and how to even test how fast the frequency levels are. But he's something along the lines of, from 8,000 to 25,000 is like, the average human population or whatever speed that frequency is. Then you start getting into the realm of like, 30,000 to 50,000, and disease doesn't really exist at that frequency. And then you get, 60 to 80 is, Gandhi, Buddha, Mother Teresa, where now you walk like, at a lower frequency, but at a higher level, like you walk into a party and there's just something about that person in the room. And you're like, man, you're kind of attracted to that person. Then as you get higher in the frequency, like Mother Teresa or people come from villages to go flock to see this person. Like the attraction is there and everybody wants to go see this person. And then as you get to like, the highest frequency is like Jesus Christ or, the Mahavatars of the world. Am I spot on to think that, or am I off in some sense?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I didn't ask that question. But I think that my mind feels that there's some truth. I'm not sure that the description is wholly, completely, and 1,000% accurate, but I think it's close to what could be true. I don't think there's any doubt that people are, and that every living thing, as you mentioned, every living thing is vibrating at a different frequency. And I don't think there's any doubt as well that the higher the frequency is at which they're vibrating, the more they tend to display, demonstrate, express what those high frequencies have made clear to them, what they've come to understand about who they are and why they're here. And I don't think there's any doubt at all that those high frequencies tend to be magnetic. Mm-hmm. That we do, in fact, tend to be attracted to people like that. I knew a man like that, by the way, on a personal level, that I appeared with at several events in the past 20 years. We didn't co-present, but he was appearing at the same event I was appearing at. His name was Thich Nhat Hanh, mm-hmm. and he was a Buddhist monk. He's since celebrated his continuation day. But I was at several events with Thich Nhat Hanh, and I promise you that, and we had speakers, we always had speakers' dinners or speakers' receptions where the general public was not there, just the presenters were there. Mm-hmm. So there were only maybe 10 or 12, 15 of us, as opposed to 1,500. I'm in the room with, like 10, 12, 15 other people, and Thich Nhat Hanh walks into the room. I promise you that without even looking at the doorway, maybe talking to somebody else, everybody in that room knew that something incredible had just happened. Mm-hmm. That he walked in the room. He didn't say a word when he first walked in. We all knew that he was there. It was his energetic impacted and affected the entire room because of the frequency that he was bringing with him, that he was projecting.
I wonder, when you describe people coming from other villages, and the more, the higher the level of the frequency, the more the magnetism, I can't help but react to that, thinking that there's some pretty low vibrating people attract, it's It seems that negativity almost attracts more. Like if you look at the media.
I like what you're saying. That's very good insight. When Scott was talking about the higher frequency, I didn't hear him say the better. I heard him only say the higher.
Right, the higher the well, those lower frequency people that come to the the lower frequency goes to the higher, and then they're leaving there on a different frequency themselves. I think it's.
But I think the point that Steve was making, and I'm going to agree with him, is that even so-called negative frequencies, or what we're kind of like intuitively wanting to call lower frequencies, but what we really mean are more negative. For instance, one of the highest frequencies that one can project into the universe is fear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And no one would suggest that fear is a positive frequency. We would call it a negative emotion.
Yeah.
So likewise, there are people who project so-called, by our definition, by our current human definition, so-called negative energetics. But those energetics are vibrating very quickly. They're very powerful. Fear is one of the most powerful energetics that you could embrace, and when you project fear into the universe, you attract what Conversation with God told me that. Neale, you will attract what you fear.
Wow, that's pretty heavy. You attract what you fear? It's a good thing I don't fear a bad diet, because I got AG1 from Athletic Greens, baby. The most delicious, comprehensive, convenient daily nutrition there is. It plugs in every gap in my diet. I'm telling you, because it's loaded with 75 different vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. I'm telling you, they load so much good stuff into this. I don't have to be afraid of anything about my diet. Plus, it's great for my gut health. It's great for my cognitive ability. I mean, dude, it's called Athletic Greens for a reason. And AG1 is the supplement of all supplements with everything you need. It is comprehensive and convenient. And if you go to athleticgreens.com/Stevo, they will give you 5 travel packs plus an entire year's supply of immune-boosting vitamin D with your first order. You can't beat it. Go to athleticgreens.com/Stevo, and let's get back to it.
Not because your frequency is so low, but because it's so powerful. That fear and love are almost equally powerful in terms of the energetic that's sent into the universe. Of course, fear is nothing more than an expression of love. That is, if you didn't love anything, you'd fear nothing. If I didn't love my life, I wouldn't fear losing it. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't fear losing you. If I didn't love money, I wouldn't fear not having enough. So fear is always an expression of something that you love. It's simply the other side of the coin. It's just the inverse expression, but it's this. So it carries the same power, the same energetic, the same frequency, which is the point you made, and I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Once again, Steve is wrong and you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're
it's
Steve.
always that
Scott's
way.
wrong.
Right. It's always that. No. That when the law of attraction phase came out, in the early 2000s, and everybody there was that book that movie that came out.
Yeah.
Maybe What the Bleeper. I don't remember. The Secret. And
which I was in, by the way.
Yeah. And the one thing that some people were talking about that got it wrong. Law of attraction is there, but what they didn't touch upon was the law of resonance, that what you put out will come back to you equally. So when you're like, okay, I don't have any money, like, okay, law of attraction, like, I want money, like, where's my money? It's going to come back to you at the same way. Whereas if you had gratitude, like, I already have all the money I need. And then all of a sudden that kind of starts showing up back in your life in that sense.
You know how I've conceived of that in my world? I agree with everything you've just said, Scott. And how I was told that, what I was told in my life by God. God said, I only have one word in my vocabulary. I know you think that I'm really verbose and I have a lot of things to say, but the truth is, I have only one word in my vocabulary.
Be love.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
So if you say, I want more money in my life, God says, yes, that's true, you do. I'm tired of living alone. I want my perfect partner in my life. Yes, you do. Yeah, I'm afraid I might lose all that I've gained in my work so hard. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. God said, yes, you do. But if you say, all the money I need is coming to me now, God equally says, yes, that's true. So what I've learned is that when I get that God says yes, there's only one word in God's vocabulary. Whatever I say, whatever I think, God says, yep, I agree with you. You know why I agree with you? Because you are me. Because I've invested in you all the power to create your reality that I have invested in myself. That you are, in fact, a living demonstration, an individuation of me. So, of course, I'm going to say yes to whatever you say, because, my friend, your wish is my command.
The game-changing quote in your book that changed my life about money was when you were writing the God, and he responded with, you're unhappy with your money situation because you're unhappy with your money situation. And that was like, oh my God, that summed up everything for me.
When The Secret wouldn't, I read the Law of Attraction book when I was in early recovery. I was still in rehab. And I wonder if you've heard of this. I had a very, very scary reaction to it. I thought, so what I think will become my reality. And then it occurred to me, well, they say if you tell yourself, don't think of a pink elephant, then all of a sudden, all you can think of is a pink elephant. So by the rules of the law of attraction, what if I tell myself, don't think my greatest fears, because then they'll become a reality. That's what it is. The what you think becomes your reality. Oh no, now I'm telling myself, don't think about my biggest fears, because then that one, and then, oh no, now all I can think about is my greatest fears. So now my greatest fears are going to become my reality.
Mm-hmm. In the Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah.
Don't think about cancer in your left leg.
That was what started my journey to the psych ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the Hall of Mirrors here. That's a very interesting and wonderfully incisive description of, in fact, some of the challenges we're all facing here. It's like, going into the fun house at the carnival and all the mirrors are warped and, and you're in the Hall of Mirrors. Mm-hmm. What you're sending out is reflected back to you. What you're sending out is reflected back to you. And if you don't want to send it out, it's reflected back to you. That kind of a thing. Until you finally wake up one day and say, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can even decline that effect. The whole thing is an illusion. Wow. The whole thing is an illusion. I'm living in the 10 illusions of humans. The whole thing is made up. I can even describe that effect as beautifully as steveo as you just did now, and I can say no. I don't have to even find myself seduced by that impact. I can just say I'm above all of that.
What I did that I found most helpful was to go back to the notion that the way we treat others is a reflection of how we feel about ourselves. I could buy onto that because I saw that was my experience. And I decided that the best way to change how I feel about myself, it would be to flip that. So the same rule would apply, that if I can change the way that I treat others, the effect will be I'll be changing the way I feel about myself.
There was a guy who made that point a few years ago. He put it in a somewhat different way, but it was the exact same point. He said, do unto others as you would have it done unto you.
It's the golden rule.
He made the point. Exactly the point you just made.
Sort of, yeah.
Not sort of, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I
do unto others as you would have it done unto you. How much more clear could it be? You're exactly right. And by the way, I just admire that you came to that awareness. Oh, wow. how I treat others is a reflection of how I feel about myself. And I can change how I feel about myself by treating others the way I want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. That's world-changing, Steve-O. It's life-changing and world-changing. Supposing that everybody on the planet got that piece of information tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, everything would change.
It's more about seizing upon the opportunity to feel like a guy who treats people well. You know, like I was talking to a friend who's having relationship issues, and I said, you know, that with my fiance, I have something I don't always do it well, but when I do it, I benefit from it a lot. Which is to view every situation I find myself in my relationship as an opportunity for me to express myself as the person who I aspire to be. And it's a little way of taking something that, you know, maybe it's a pain in the butt, but if it's an opportunity for me to be a great guy, then yeah, I'll go to the vet at 2 a.m. because you think the dog might have eaten chocolate. Well, it probably didn't. It's gonna be fine anyway, but let's go.
That's a relationship-changing insight. I hope that all of the many, many, many people who view your programs, Steve-O, hear you. That's a relationship-changing insight.
That's the best thing I've ever done for my relationship is selfishly use it to feel good about being a good guy.
And to realize that even when the person across the room is not behaving or responding or demonstrating an aspect of themselves that you'd like them to demonstrate, even when they're being, you know, cruel or short or snippy or whatever, or unreasonable, 2 o'clock in the morning, the dog didn't have chocolate. I'm not going. You know, even when they're being unreasonable, that we can say, oh, I see the gift here. I see the gift. That's the title of your next book. No, really. That's the title of your next book. I See the Gift by Steve-O.
All right.
That's cool. Yeah, and the truth is, it was probably Steve's Reese's Pieces wrapper, and he blamed it on the dog. So he just went to the vet because he was like, you know what? Yeah.
He's barking up the wrong tree.
Can I ask you a question about the Conversations with God movie and how accurate that was? There was a scene there that I was interested in. You were homeless. You started you were sleeping on the couch. You started having the dialogue with God. And you hadn't had any money for a while, and then there was a part, I believe, at the airport. You had you're at the diner at the cafe, and they made you an offer for $4 million for the transcripts. And you're in the show, the lady turned it down, and you were like, "What are you doing?" It was that a real situation that happened?
Yes.
And what were you thinking?
It wasn't the lady that turned it down. I was here. The guy turned it down. It was the lady who made the offer.
Yes. Sorry.
She didn't turn it down. She was, in fact, the president of a major publishing company. And my then publisher, she was wanting to buy the book from him and future books. And he turned it down. And I started to check. I said, well, but this is as far as I got, because he's under the table. He stepped on my foot. He slammed his foot, his shoe on the top of my foot, like, shut up. I'll handle this. But it wasn't. My memory of it wasn't $4 million. It was $1 million. And then he or maybe it was, who knows? But I think that she offered $1 million. He looked at her and he said, I can do that myself. I don't need you. We can do that on our own. My publishing company, the small publishing company that first put the book out. Then she came back with an offer of 1.5. Is my memory of it.
Okay.
She came back with an offer at one point, which in those days was worth about, in today's money, more. But in any event, she came back with 50% more, and then I wouldn't let him turn it down. I just said, but I asked her. I said, why do you want to? Why would you make an offer like that? What? Tell me what you see in this. And she said, I'll never forget her words, by the way. She said, because I think your book could change the world.
Is it true that Conversations with God, Book 1?
Can you hold that question?
Yeah, of course.
Because we didn't get to your... Did you have a question behind that? Other than,
well, yeah, I mean, it's like, assuming living in a tent in Oregon and you have $0 in your bank account, I mean, what are you sitting there thinking when somebody offers you $1 million and the guy turns it down? I mean, what's the fear there? Is like, oh, it's never happening. Like, what were you thinking when they turned it down? Like, were you like, oh my God, what did they just do? I just made a mistake, or?
Yeah, I started to say, but he stepped on my foot.
Yeah.
So he didn't step on my foot. He slammed his shoe on my foot, like, shut the hell up. I'll handle this. The unspoken message. So yeah, but I did think at first, the guy's crazy. Why would he turn that down? And because I knew I would benefit, obviously, as well. But so yeah, I was pretty taken aback.
Before that, when you had no money, and there was probably some resentment towards God about I'm broke, I'm this, and then you wrote it on the couch, and you heard the quotes. You'll be happy with your money situation when you're finally happy with your money situation. From that, did your thought on money change?
My thought on everything changed.
And it was more of a gratitude. And then from that time, when everything changed to where you got that offer, like you were practicing the gratitude of money's coming my way, or,
Yes, but that didn't stop me from, you mentioned about a half hour ago, you're in it and then you're out of it, then you're in it, then you're out of it. And that was one of those moments, I was living really in the messages. I truly was. I felt like I was pretty much in that bubble, in that cocoon. I had received the messages, and I was practicing them, and I was getting it, and I was, and then this lady offers $1 million, and he turns it down, and I popped out of that bubble like that. Wait a minute, this transcends my current understanding. So I did, and that's still my experience. That's still my experience, that certain things happen, certain things occur, and I burst out of the place that I'm in. I burst out of the bubble, if you please. I find myself knowing what I know, but not being able to express or experience it in that moment. Now, I'll give myself this much, and without breaking my arm, patting myself on the back, I do it less now than I did before. So I've reduced the number of moments like that. But I still have times when I think, like you talked about, who is that masked man? Who's that guy who just did that, who just said that, or just responded in that way? When you know better. So I don't think, I was almost tempted to say, I don't think the game ever ends. But I think that it does. I'm going to withdraw that thought, because I have met people like Thich Nhat Hanh or Byron Katie and other people I've met in my life who have reached a level where they don't fall out. They don't fall out of the space. They don't reject what they already know. They don't abandon themselves. But I abandon myself less now than I did 25 years ago. I'll give myself that, as I said.
Yeah.
But I'm not really still where I want to be, and I'd like to get to there. I'd like to get closer and closer and closer before I check out of here. I'm going to be 80 next year.
Wow.
I'd like to, that was your cue to say you don't even look close to 80.
Yeah, look close to 80.
That's what I meant by wow.
Do you still meditate every day, except on days that you don't?
No, I never did meditate every day.
I do.
I don't. But that explains why you're so far more advanced.
Oh, I don't know about that.
He's glowing over there.
I don't know about that.
But let me retract that. I said, I don't meditate every day the way people describe meditation, because they think it has to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But I write every day. Every day of my life, I'm writing something into the message and around the message and around my life and so forth. So my form of meditation really is to write. And I write hours, not a few minutes here and there. From 7:30 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, I'm at my keyboard, either answering questions from readers or writing another article that's been asked of me for a magazine, or writing for my website. I have a column called Ask Neale, where people,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm constantly, so that's my form of meditation. People can meditate doing the dishes.
Right.
People can meditate walking down the street. And I talk about 7 methods of meditation. So when I say I don't meditate every day, I mean not the way people think you're supposed to meditate. But I meditate in my way, and I sometimes meditate while I'm washing the dishes. And I experience the glass in my hand, and the soap bubbles on that glass, and the water dripping down in a way that I never did before. I see it sometimes for the first time. So meditation doesn't mean a particular action. It's a particular mental function that allows you to focus in a totally different way on what's going on in your life, including focusing on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a quick question, and then I wanted to get you to... Okay, quick question. Do you still hold the world record for being on the New York Times bestseller list longer than any other book with Conversations with God, Book 1?
I don't know.
I understand it was almost 3 years. Like, I believe it was 140, 131 weeks.
137 weeks, I think.
137 weeks.
I don't know. By the way, that's not any nonfiction. We need to say nonfiction.
Oh, gotcha.
Because fiction books have been on the bestseller list for 5, 8, 10 years, a long time. But nonfiction books typically do not remain on the bestseller list for that long.
Got it.
But I don't know. I don't track that.
I love it because I think that when I describe Conversations with God, I say that it's this book that fundamentally changed the way I view life and the universe. That it's a dialogue. I described that you were at a place in your life you felt frustrated, and that you had been in the habit of writing letters, which you wouldn't necessarily send, but it was an exercise in venting, that you would write a letter to someone and maybe just file it away. But you were at such a point of despair.
My father taught me that, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good practice.
When I was angry, he'd say, write a letter and put it on the mantelpiece. Look at it tomorrow, and if you still feel tomorrow after you read it you want to send it, then send it.
Yeah, the 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so at this certain point, you were experiencing such despair, you decided, I'm going to write a letter to God. And, why is my life such a struggle? Why is it, everything like that? And that you intuitively received a response, which was, are you really looking for answers to these questions, or are you just venting? And, it's for a lot of people, it's a difficult pill to swallow that you're able to write both sides of the dialogue, yours and God's. And to the extent that that's a difficult pill for some people to swallow, we look at how long it was on the New York Times bestseller list, which adds some credibility, lends some weight to it, And for me, I say it's not necessarily for everybody, but for me, it is absolutely to me, it's the most important thing. What I'm interested in, because I don't think it's been made clear, can you describe how the intuitive responses come? I think there was some suggestion that you felt your hand moving, or was there...
I don't want to make the case for automatic writing. I did feel my hand moving, but not in the sense that people think of automatic writing. Mm-hmm. Someone else is kind of like taking over your body and is writing. More in the sense of, if you've ever owed your mom a letter and you start writing and your hand is moving without you really thinking seriously about, dear Mom, I'm really sorry, I've let it go this far. Please forgive me. I've been very busy. And you find your hand moving without you really consciously thinking of what I want to write. And then after you get all that out of the way, then you start actually writing. The truth is, why I'm sending you this note is,
right.
I need $200. Can you help me out? Or whatever the real reason is. So in that sense, but not in the sense of automatic writing. Yeah, how it occurred to me, how it felt to me was, I heard a voice, and it was when I very first heard it, in the very first moment, I would have sworn someone was in the room with me. And I whipped around, and there was nobody behind me. I heard a voice that felt like it was over my right shoulder. And of course, there was no one there, and I thought, terrific. Not only am I furious, not only am I angry with life, angry with God, now I'm going out of my mind. I'm hearing voices. You know all about that. So then I thought, terrific. But then I dismissed the idea that I'm actually hearing voices out loud. But then I began to just receive thoughts, just heard ideas, words in my head, in response to what I was writing. Do you really want answers to all these questions, or are you just venting? I remember writing furiously in answer to what I was being asked. Yeah, I am venting. If you've got answers, I'd sure as hell like to know what they are.
Yeah.
And the response I got immediately was, wouldn't you rather be sure as heaven? I said, what's that supposed to mean? And I realized I was caught up in the two-way. I didn't even try to describe it. I just went with it. And before I knew it, I was involved in a question-answer process that I never stopped to ask myself about. What's going on here? Why is this happening? What is it? I just let myself. And then I began receiving thoughts that never occurred to me before, or that violated every thought I ever did hold.
Wow.
Like there's no such thing as right and wrong. Or there are no victims and no villains in the world. Or there's no such thing as the Ten Commandments. That was the one that stopped me. I remember dropping the pen when I was given, there's no such thing as the Ten Commandments. I literally dropped the pen like it was red hot. I thought, what is this? What's going on here?
But what did you describe as? It's not 10 commandments. It's 10 suggestions, or?
Yeah, it's not 10 commandments. It's 10 commitments.
Okay.
10 commitments. And what she said was, you will know, because I asked the question when Moses came down from the mountaintop. He said he had been given this tablet with 10 commandments, and he's talking to his people about how they should then behave. And what I was told was, no. God didn't say these are commandments. These are things you must do or else.
Right.
But you've asked, how can I tell my people that they will know that they're on the path? And you'll know what you'll know you're on the path. I'll make this commitment to you. You will know you're on the path, because when you're on the path, you shall not use the name of God in vain. You won't lie. You shall not lie. You won't lie. You won't commit adultery. You won't do these things, because when you're on the path, you simply won't do those things. Mm-hmm. And Moses heard it as, you won't do those things, meaning you better not. And so he kind of flipped it around.
Right.
And so, but I rewrote the 10 Commandments as the 10 Commitments as I was given in the dialogue. Steve-O, I got a letter about a year later, a year after that, I guess, after the book came out, from a minister, a Christian minister in New Hampshire, I think. And he said, "Dear Mr. Walsch, I can't tell. I lead a congregation, the first church, and he said, I can't say that I agree with your theology, but I will say this much. You have opened the discussion about God in a way that few people have done in my lifetime. Mm. My congregation is talking about nothing else but what you said. So you have broken down the barrier, the piece, because in most churches you can't even talk about this stuff. You can't question it.
Right.
And of course there are countries where if you question it, they put you to death.
Yeah.
They sentence you to death because you're not supposed to question what the Scripture says, what you've been taught. So I thought, well, if the worst that I've done is open the subject for re-exploration, fair enough. Fair enough. I want to make something really clear, Steve, if I can, since you've been kind enough to give me the floor here. I need people to understand that I know I didn't write this book. The wisdom, the insights, the statements, the truths that are offered in all 9 of the Conversations with God dialogue books are not mine and did not come from me. I simply took dictation. I simply wrote down what I was hearing, questioned it like anybody would, like you would, like anybody else would, questioned it like, how can that be true? Well, wait a minute, what about this? Yeah, but. I had bunches of yeah, buts. Yeah, but. So all I did was add my yeah, buts. And then I carefully took down what I was given, and I just took dictation. And I sent it to the publisher. I will say this to the various publishers. Nobody has ever edited my books. I've been asked that. What do the editors do when they get your books? None of the publishers who have published my books could find an editor on the workroom floor. Who wants to edit God? So nobody. No, so the books have been published exactly the way they came off the pen for the first 3, and off the keyboard for the other books. Nobody has ever changed a single word in those books. So, for what it's worth, I took dictation and they published it, and the rest, as they say, is history.
I love it. I would say we should end there, but I wanted to. There was one thing, and I believe it was in book 2, and I loved it so much. It was a point about there being no such thing as time. And in the dialogue, God said, look at how ridiculous, and I'm paraphrasing, but look at how ridiculous your attempt at creating a construct of time is. In order to make it work, you guys are trying so hard to make this work that you've got to not include a day every 4 years to make it work. You're trying to just squeeze, you got your leap year, and then like with the meteor time, like this is just, there's this infinitesimal fraction of a second that just doesn't quite fit. So every so often you gotta not have a second. Like do you not see how ridiculous this construct of time is? It's a
making it all up.
Yeah, I loved that. Yeah,
and all you have to do to realize that there really is no such thing as time is live to your 80. The closer I get to my 80th birthday, which is now just a year away or so, less than a year away, the more I realize. I woke up actually this very morning thinking about when I was 24 and when I was 14 and when I was 29 and 36, and it really does feel like yesterday. So. Yeah, I'm clear that time does not exist in the way that we think that it does. There's only one moment, and that's right here, right now.
I wonder what you think of this with regards to time. Many years ago, probably about 20 years ago, I was sitting there and I thought, it used to be a commonly held belief that the world was flat, that actually the sailors were afraid to ride their ships too far because they thought they would fall off the end of the earth. And we've evolved enough in our science and our understanding that's become an absurd thought, because you can't fall off of the end of the earth because the earth is round. And then I asked my question, when I wonder when we may have evolved enough to find it equally absurd that we can fall off the end of time. You know, we have this idea of time as a linear thing with a beginning and an end. But if much the same as the earth is round, we can't fall off the end of the earth, it would follow that time is round. There's no beginning or end. You don't fall off. Time is round, dude.
Yeah, which is said in conversations with God. God said, take that. I remember she gave me an illustration. You think time is a straight line that goes, it starts here and it ends here, whatever that is, the end of the world or whatever you think. But God said, no, grab that line, and marry it, and you'll see that everything is a circle.
Yeah.
And he said to me, not just time, but everything. Everything is a circle.
Not only is it a circle, everything is a circle, which is actually traveling in a circle, around a circle.
Bingo.
And I also thought it was really fascinating that in book 1, you asked about, is there any limit to how small something can get or how big something can get? And the answer from God was that you can cut something in half. You'll have 2 equal pieces. And then you can take those pieces, you can cut them in half. And there is no point, like literally for infinity, you can always cut something in half. There's no end to how small something can get. And and it goes the other way as well. So conceivably, in the space of an atom is all of the information, the history, the future, the possible outcomes can fit like it in an atom. The smallest particle that we can fathom.
Yeah, smaller than an atom.
Would be an atom. Yeah, I don't know whether we're aware of anything smaller.
Subatomic particles. There are subatomic particles.
So within a subatomic particle, we can fit the entire universe.
Yeah, and what she said to me was, if you go to outer space and look at the universe, you will see nothing different from if you could stand far enough away from your body and look at the particles of your body, or the particles inside the particles of your body. It's all the same construction. So, but the question. These are fascinating observations that we've all become aware of at some level or another. But the real question is, so what does that have to do with life? For instance, if everything's a circle, there's Neale sitting there, and steveo and Neale are agreeing everything is a circle, but if I'm watching this podcast, I got to go, fascinating, but so what? What does it have to do with me at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon? I said, talk to me about stuff that matters to me and produces functionality in my life. And that's what we'll be doing on our second interview, because we're going way over time here.
Yeah.
But if we had another hour and a half, we could take a look at, what is the functionality? Because if the messages from God, or messages that we're receiving from the cosmos, from the universe, from the higher evolved beings or whatever, or from the place of wisdom that dwells within all of us, have no functional applicability, then it becomes a big so what.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested. A theology that has no applicability is bankrupt. And I'm not interested in being spiritually bankrupt. So what I've tried to do in the books I've written, that I actually have written, as opposed to the books that I took dictation for, what I've tried to do in the books that I've written following the dialogue is to articulate the applicability of these principles that were given to us in the Conversations with God dialogues. How does that apply in relationship, in the world of business, in the world of work, with regard to money, with regard to health, with regard to, how does that all apply? And there's way too much there for us to get into here, but I can tell you that nothing that we are given in those words of wisdom that I took dictation on is not applicable in a functional, practical way in everyday life, including the idea that it's all a circle.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love you, Neale. Thank you for...
Let me tell you something I admire about you before you say goodbye to me. I really admire the fact that you're so honest. You're visible. You're transparent. You don't try to hide behind anything. You're just completely honest and transparent. And it's hard to find people who are willing to go there and do it fearlessly. Not just go there, but go there fearlessly. So when you do that, you're a demonstration to all who watch your podcast. You're a wonderful demonstration and a wonderful model. And that's something that I admire about you. I've seen your podcasts. It's nice to be on it, but I've actually watched some clips of your podcast. And I think, wow, this guy's in the moment, totally present. And he is transparent. He's hiding nothing. He's being totally visible. That takes a level of courage, to say nothing about the courage it took you to overcome your addictions. So you know what, pal? Nice going.
Hey, thank you so much, Neale. You're my favorite. You're my favorite teacher. You're my favorite author. You're my favorite thinker, and this meant the world to me.
The check's in the mail.
Did I tell you or what? That was just a big deal, man. And thank you guys for sticking around. Candidly, I'm guessing this isn't going to be the biggest performer of an episode, but it was just important to me. And for you guys making it to the end of this one, man, that's more special to me than ever. So thank you, especially for this one. And what else can I tell you? We're in Australia. It's been challenging, frankly. The tour bus that we rented, when it rains outside, it rains inside because there's just hella holes in the roof. But that stopped mattering when the bus totally broke down. And we were on the side of the highway, so I quite literally hitchhiked to the show that night. I mean, I got out on the road hitchhiking, like 10 minutes. We had like 8 different cars and trucks pulled over, like trying to get photos and stuff. So hitchhiking's actually pretty easy for me in Australia. But yeah, dude, the bus stayed broke down, so we took a 6-hour cab ride to the show the day after that. Now I'm in this traveling sauna of an RV. The air conditioning doesn't work. Woo! Man, nothing I won't do to get to my shows, baby. And thank you, Australia, for making them such a hit. With that, thank you again. I love you all. Hey everybody, and welcome to an exhilarating wild ride with Steve-O. This one is just plain fun. We've got the wildly successful entrepreneur and YouTuber Cody Ko. And he isn't just wildly successful, he is hilarious and handsome. So, just strap on your seatbelts and get ready to get into it.
Are we recording on all cameras?
We sure are.
Oh, we are? All right.
Are we recording everywhere?
How good is it to have Paul back, dude?
At this point, I'd be dripping sweat like, the wires are fucking being crossed.
I'm leaving this in.
Yeah, you can put that on your Instagram, dude.
I missed a few episodes.
Well, then let's get to
where were
it.
you?
I was traveling. I went home to the Midwest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was nice. Very nice.
All right. And he got engaged.
No way.
And I got engaged.
Yeah,
That's
Congrats,
right.
dude.
Thank
Dan,
you.
Who takes 2 fucking weeks to ask one question?
It's a lot of pressure, man. You're just sweating for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was, dude. I was.
When do I do it?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Ko. Yeah, dude. So,
Thank you so
gorgeous
much for
Paul-
having me. Sorry
dude,
to interrupt.
all good, man.
I was so stoked
Rad.
when they reached out and they said, Steve, I want you to be on it. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
How much? Can I say yes 3 times?
Dude, and thank God, because I dare say we are in a little bit of a slump. I shouldn't say that.
You don't want to say
Well,
that.
no, but dude, I'm an open book, man. And from what I understand, on the audio side, we're very consistent. But it's on the YouTube side that people are so finicky that like some podcasts are wildly popular and our last
Sure.
4, 5, 6.
And it's
so-
nothing against the guests. They are great shows.
Yeah.
They just didn't get the numbers.
I'm not saying that we
Right,
haven't
right.
made it bad. And
I'm
I
just
would
clarifying.
rather have a great episode that's got low viewership than a shitty episode that's got a lot.
Yeah.
I hear that.
So in that respect, we are on fire.
Yeah, but we
This
enjoy
one's- this
we enjoy
one-
doing it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
This one's going to be a shitty episode that doesn't get a lot of views. It's going to be the worst of both worlds.
That's what I've learned about you is that you're quick to be self-deprecating. It's endearing. I think that's one thing that made Jackass a cultural phenomenon. That we took it a step further. We were comfortable looking super uncool.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys were legends, though.
yeah,
Well,
you were
thanks,
pretty
man.
cool at the same time.
Yeah,
You kind of
yeah.
walked that line.
Right. So yeah, dude, I'd say thank you for doing it. You know, I think that this episode's going to be a performer, and I think it's going to be a great episode. And before we started recording,
Pressure's on.
you said that you had sent me a DM. Did I respond to it?
No, you didn't even read it.
I never even saw.
Well,
it.
I mean, I wasn't really expecting you to, and then I saw that you followed me, so I was like, oh my God.
Oh, there you
and I was
go.
like stoked about that, like in the first place. And then because I've been obsessed with like watching van life videos and stuff like that, and I'm a big surfer too. And so it's like kind of my dream to buy one of these things and just go down to like Huntington and surf for the whole day. Like just do a
Sure.
morning session, post up in here, drink a beer, whatever, and then go out in the evening.
I mean, dude, that's easy. That's easy, but why stop there? I mean, fuck, dude, go up to Oregon.
Sur.
Go surf.
Oh yeah, I've
you
heard
know?
that's unreal. I mean, I've been there, but not like in a van like this. I've heard that's like ideal.
Dude, I kind of want to fucking go surf Tofino, British Columbia,
Yes.
dude. It's like,
I'm from Calgary, Canada. So I'm-
rad.
yeah,
Have you surfed Tofino?
never, but I've always wanted to.
I've been there a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah.
And is it good? Is it fun?
I had fun.
You've been a couple times.
I have. I went in January of 2013.
That's rough.
So you were like full hood, booties,
Yeah,
gloves.
Yeah.
Was it similar to Alaska?
Alaska was more intense.
Wow.
Cold
Dude,
wise?
I'm already getting in trouble with people for talking too much about me, dude. I got Cody Coat right here. When did you start surfing?
Like 7 years ago now, probably. So I was like
Okay.
23.
And so you moved from Canada and you went to college here?
I went to college in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Duke.
Duke,
Yeah.
you're a diver.
Dude,
Yep.
platform diver,
Springboard diver.
springboard diver.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was too pussy for platform.
Are you?
That shit hurts.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
What do you mean it hurts? Why? Because you're so high up
Dude,
in
you
the
don't
splat.
land perfect every time, dude.
Yeah.
When you come from 33.33 feet.
You ever
Yeah,
dove
it's
off a
rough.
10 meter and like did the like twists and turns?
Yeah, I've done a front 1.5, so like a front flip to a dive off 10 meter. That was
Yeah.
like the most complicated it got for me up there. And then I was like, this sucks. I'm not doing this.
Yeah. And
It's
then,
just rough. Like even when you enter the water perfectly, it's so much stress on the shoulders, and I don't know how people do that for years and years and years.
how do divers have such good bodies if all they do is dive all day? I mean, they're jacked and they're ripped. Are they working out?
Yeah, you do like an hour of like dry land beforehand, which is like abs. Like a lot of them have like diving boards that go into mats. And it's like a, diving itself is like a huge like cardio muscle combination workout.
I would think it's a lot of core too, just like getting your body
Well,
out,
especially
flipping
the
around.
platform divers with the arm stands. Like all
yeah.
these arm stand dives are pretty heavy. Plus, just getting out of the pool that many times, dude, that's a lot of reps.
That's true.
I mean, that's like a serious push-up, dude.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the name Brian Galuli?
No.
Okay, because he was the 1994 senior diving champion after winning a record 10 consecutive junior national titles.
Oh, holy shit.
And he taught me how to do standing backflips, which I quickly turned into simultaneous fire-breathing standing backflips
Which then turned into tucking your dick between your legs and doing a backflip.
in front of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Man, they didn't like it.
That's what we
Right.
did for diving workouts too.
Yeah.
Everyone
Right.
tuck the dicks.
So,
Do a flip.
so you're NCAA springboard diving, 1 meter, 3 meter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
both.
like, what was your most technical dive on the 3 meter?
Front 2.5 double twists. That was my hardest dive, and also probably my best because it's like the highest degree of difficulty, so you get the most points.
Have you posted on your IG what we call a ripper?
Like a no
Where
splash.
where you ripped it, and then it's so crazy. Like the rip, it's called ripping it. Where not only is there no splash, but like you create this vacuum as you go in, and so it like sucks in like, and then just bubbles up like.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's why they call it a rip, because it's like the sound. It sounds
Yeah.
like you're ripping. It's like a very particular sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
How
pretty-
often does that happen in the diving world?
Dude, this last Olympics, it happened like every fucking time for this Chinese girl.
Dude,
It
like the
will-
13-year-old or 14-year-old one?
on the 10 meter.
I couldn't believe that.
It
She
will
got
never
10s
happen.
on like everything. You
Yeah,
never see that.
Straight
Really?
10s across the board
yeah.
on every
She
fucking.
was also like 40 pounds.
Wow.
I mean, dude, that will never be beaten. I don't know how you could ever beat that. Like that was the most dominant Olympic performance ever.
It really was incredible.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The movie Conehead, she dove pretty good.
So you have you've got footage of good rippers.
Like mine?
Yeah.
I got a couple good rippers. I got some footage, but like I'm so bad at like backing up hard drives and making sure when I get a new computer I take care of the old footage. So it's all sitting somewhere on an old computer in like my closet, and I have no idea where it is.
I have trouble believing that. I have trouble believing that you're an unorganized person.
Oh, I absolutely am.
Oh yeah.
I'm a scatterbrain.
All right.
I try to be organized, but it's just I don't know. I want to do like a million things.
How long
So I'm
ago?
constantly thinking about.
How long ago was that epic beef with Jake Paul? Oh, we're going to get all up into Cody and Jake's beef, but first let me tell you about mine with plastic. It is destroying the environment, and you want to know who's doing something about it? The good people at Liquid Death. Yeah, it's water in a big, beautiful, tall boy that looks just like a beer can. And you know what's special about these cans? They're infinitely recyclable. So that's the whole deal. Death to plastic and murder your thirst with this delicious sparkling water. And they've also got that gorgeous, pure mountain spring water from like Austria. Dude, come on. This company's great. I love them. And you see how much better I look lately? It's because I'm drinking more water. Turns out it's really good for you. And you can feel super good about saving the world when you're drinking Liquid Death. And they got a great new deal, and I'm excited to tell you about it. If you go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo, you've got free shipping on every order of water and merch. And let me tell you, their merch is hilarious. So, for free shipping on all your orders of water and merch, go to liquiddeath.com/Stevo. And once again, look better because you're drinking more water, feel better because you're saving the world, and be better because you're a Wild Ride listener. Now, let's talk about that beef.
That was like almost 2 years ago now, I think.
Okay,
Or
I was
maybe
thinking
longer
maybe
than that.
3 years.
Yeah, maybe
I don't
3
know.
years.
That was something else, huh?
That was pretty wild.
And
now-
so just to
And now he could beat the shit out of me. I mean, he probably
Right.
could back then too.
Right. Like, I mean, it wasn't anything terribly aggressive that you had done, right? Like, you just sort of made a reaction video to his rapping and called it cringy and, and so then he shows up, just bum rushes you on, like, some set that you were working on and, like,
Yeah.
really aggro and, like, come on.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a joke. Like the guy that
Right.
hit him
Jeff
up.
Wittick.
Yeah, he was like, thought that he'd be kind of like in on the joke.
Right.
And then he came in, he like used it as an opportunity to like film it himself.
Right.
And yeah, the whole thing felt just really weird. I was like really uncomfortable. Like afterwards, I was like, man, I feel like, I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Right.
It was
think-
really bizarre.
I think it read that way. That like when you saw him, you were like, "Oh, hey, man, I'm fucking cool, dude." Like you know, you could tell that there was nothing, like there's no real like malice or animosity on your part.
Right. Yeah.
And he came with this crazy energy. And what was most odd, I think, to me, was that it was Jake himself who put out the video. That just felt like awkward and weird.
Yeah.
And kind of like you looked like he kind of felt like he put out a video that made you look good and
Yeah, it
him
was-
look bad. I don't know.
The whole situation was so bizarre. Plus, I had a fresh cut. I had just gotten a fresh haircut. I looked incredible.
He accused you of being a bully.
Yeah.
Cyberbullying.
Did
Yeah,
that-
cyberbully, yeah.
Did that change your approach to internet bullying?
Yeah, I started bullying in a different way after that. I think sometimes I go back and I watch those old videos, like That's Cringes and stuff like that we used to do. The ones that he was pissed about. I mean, I don't even know if he was pissed at the one that we did about him. He probably was. But I go back and watch those, and sometimes I'm like, man, we did go really fucking hard. But it's like, it's a young dude thing, you know? You mid-20s, you think you're the fucking man, can't do any wrong. And then you get to 30 and you're like,
I just want everybody to like me.
Yeah, and it's just like, I'm getting older now, and it's like, as cliche as it sounds, it's like negativity doesn't really breed anything. Like, the ceiling is
Right.
pretty low.
Well,
So, like, now it's like we do, we still try to remain edgy, and, like, we're comedians, so we, like to make fun of shit, but in a little bit of a lighter-hearted way, I guess. I don't know.
Now, when you say we, like, you have a distinct crew.
I mean, I do my podcast, I do it with Noel, like my comedy partner, and then I do videos with my girlfriend, Kelsey. We make content together.
Noel, were you guys in Vancouver and we met in
Yes.
at the Just for Laughs thing?
Yeah, and dude.
And you guys, you hung out and watched my show.
Noel did. I didn't. We went and watched.
He was like, "Fuck that."
no, I totally would have been there. Kelsey wanted to see one of her favorite comedians, and so it was just on the street, and so we walked down.
Right.
But I heard that your show was phenomenal and also like insanely gross and like disturbing.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
I think your tour manager was like,
Me.
Right here.
yeah. I think we talked to you at the bar then afterwards. You said that. Like every show, multiple people have to leave because of
They-
puking.
Oh,
we have
yeah. You were there
not
with a couple
puking.
dudes.
Yes.
Full-grown
Yeah.
men pass out cold
Because of
they
the-
faint, completely unconscious. Sometimes they hit their heads, and it's because they from one of the bits in the show, which is the vasectomy Olympics.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun.
That was a great
Dude,
festival, wasn't
we
it?
spoke.
Dude, it was.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, we had the same contact person at Full Screen.
Yeah.
You used to work
Yeah.
at Full Screen.
I did. Yeah.
I read that.
Yep. I was repped by them, and I worked for them
Dude,
as
Full
a
S-
software engineer.
Full
wow.
Screen doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, they just dissolved pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah, and it seems that I mean, it's always like an evolving, moving world of digital content creation, and now I think we're in a climate that really doesn't favor being with a network like Full Screen.
Yeah. There's just no reason to be anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think.
unless you need like help with production, but like,
No, but they don't even really offer that. I don't think.
oh yeah, okay.
It
Wait,
was
wait,
more.
they-
It was mostly just like an MCN type
Right.
thing, which 10 years ago used to be huge because they would help you like collab with other YouTubers and stuff. That stuff like doesn't really mean as much anymore.
Well, collabing with YouTubers certainly means everything that always.
But you
did,
could
I
just
think.
reach
But I
out
mean-
to a YouTuber
Yeah.
and do it yourself.
Yeah, and it's a different type of thing. Like the relationship used to be like we'll do a 8-minute video on your channel, and then we'll do one on my channel where we don't think about the concepts at all. It's just the fact that we're on each other's channels
Right.
will drive our audience. It doesn't really work like that anymore. It's like you actually have to think about the way you're collaborating with people, like doing this stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm pretty protective in general. Like my feeling is that if it's about showing up on someone else's channel,
Yeah.
then like I'm a whore.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm there.
Dude, the ones you did with Steve Will Do It were amazing.
Aw,
like
thanks, dude.
that's a great collab.
Well, thanks, man.
I watched
appreciate
every
that.
angle of that shit on his channel, on your channel. I was like, couldn't get enough.
Yeah, I
How's your
appreciate
ear?
I will gladly tell you all about my ear just as soon as I get done telling you about my dick. Because in about a half an hour from now, it is going to be properly hard as a rock. Why? Because I am treating myself to a Blue Chew tablet. Get out of here, you little... Now, what is a Blue Chew tablet? Well, it's a delicious chewable tablet with the same active ingredients as both Viagra and Cialis. And it makes you hard as a rock. I've tried it many, many times and I absolutely love it. You know who else loves it? When I take one, Lux, because when I show her my blue tongue, she's jumping for joy because she knows she's going to get drilled in a serious way. So, let me tell you about this because not only is it a lot of fun, but when you get your Blue Chew tablets, it's really easy. Doesn't require you to go to any awkward in-person doctor visit. No. At bluechew.com, you consult with one of their medical providers right on the website. Super quick, super easy, and then boom, you're good to go. And if at bluechew.com you use the promo code steveo, you get an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets absolutely for free. All you got to pay is $5 for shipping. So, come on. I mean, if it ever occurred to you that it might be a lot of fun to try a Blue Chew tablet, now is the time to pull the trigger. Because you know why? It's fall, man. Fall is here, and everybody could use a good, stiff breeze. So head on over to bluechew.com, use the promo code STEVO, and get yourself an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets absolutely for free, and pay nothing but $5 for shipping. Man, and then get ready to have a good time. Now, let's get back to it, man. Dude, my ear fucking healed up on its own.
Did it really?
Back to normal, dude. Out of the woods. I'm Wolverine.
That's wild. I couldn't believe when you were like doing this and it was whistling.
Yeah.
I don't even know it worked like that.
I know, dude. I sent a video of me with my whistling trick to Dr. Drew.
Oh, yeah.
He's my guy. Dr. Drew's my guy.
Was he like, that's not supposed to do that?
He said you definitely have a ruptured tympanic membrane, which is just him showing off having a fancy word for eardrum.
Right. We get it, dude. You're a doctor. We get it, bro.
You blew your eardrum out. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
And then we saw Steve will do it this last weekend over in Dania. That was fun.
How was that?
It was cool.
He came to my show. We're back up with the bucket list tour.
He came.
Oh, nice.
He came to the show, and there was a portion of it where he walked up and he's like, I want to buy some merch. So I was like, all right, dude. And then he's like, I want to buy everything. And
I
then
want to buy $1 million worth of merch.
he bought everything. And then when he was paying, he was like, is there like a tip button here? And I'm like, there's not, dude. And I'm like, God damn it, why isn't there a tip button? Like, he would just tip me like 87 grand. And
I'll take, I take chains or watches, whatever you want to give me.
And he was just like, are you sure there's no tip button here? And he was like waiting for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's not, dude. I fucked up.
Why not?
There's a
tip
Here's my Venmo.
Dude.
there's no tip button, but there is a Lamborghini dealership just down the road.
I know, and I'm not like quick enough to be like, some sort of jive to like, oh no, well we can just do this but with custom or. I was just like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I
mean, I watched your podcast with him because I was also curious about the rate at which he spends money because it's really unbelievable. Like
it is.
And I mean, it's working. Like people love watching his videos because they're like, what's he gonna buy this week?
Yeah.
And so it like kind of fuels the whole ecosystem, but it's unbelievable. It's like irresponsible, but it's fun to watch. I cannot lie that you're
like,
not.
I mean, yeah, it's such a fucking fascinating thing. And you look at David Dobrik giving away like cars every video, like David Dobrik's but David Dobrik is so evidently calculated and strategic, and whenever he's giving something away, it's something that like came from the sponsor anyway, like, and it's super tied in like very strategically to the sponsorship, so David Dobrik is really kind of pro about it. Whereas what makes Steve Will Do It so compelling is that he's just fucking out of his mind. Like, it's so clearly not strategic, and he's just...
It's compulsive. It's like, how much is that? Sure, let's do it.
Right.
Fuck it.
And
you want one too? Great, we'll get you too.
Right.
Your dog wants one, we'll get one for her too.
I think compulsive is a good word for it. And what I wanted to urge Steve Will Do It to do is watch this documentary called Broke.
Okay.
It's a documentary. It's fucking fascinating about like how like such the overwhelming majority of professional athletes who earn tens of or hundreds of millions of dollars in their career like are completely broke within 5 years of their professional career ending, and like so when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to delete this off my iPad. Like I want a constant reminder of like, don't think that money coming in is how it's always going to be.
Yeah.
And then like But the thing is, with Steve will do it. I wonder if that's even applicable because he's making so much fucking money.
I know.
Yeah, but it's kind of like what Shaq said. It's like, okay, cool, we made 20 million, but you didn't make 20 million. You made 10 million.
Right.
Like, I wonder tax time happens is he's just like, fuck.
But is that a write-off for Steve? Like, I gave away like $3 million last year.
Gotta
like,
be.
that's gotta go
Yeah,
against his taxes.
The one thing that I wonder about, I don't know, I don't know who is doing his taxes, but that person must be stressed as fuck.
Yeah. It's like Mike Tyson's tax guy in the 80s, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
You bought a tiger? Can we write that off?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Dude.
Mike Tyson had a mansion for his tigers next door. Like a 9,000 square foot mansion for them as their cat house.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's just smart money, though. That's a smart purchase.
Yeah.
What I wonder is that, like, my friend and fellow YouTuber Danny did a video about Danny Gonzalez.
Okay.
He did a video about like the logistics of giving someone a car. Because it's not just here's a Ferrari. It's like here's a Ferrari and a fuck ton of taxes that you have to pay on this car.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people,
all kinds of people who won game shows got in serious trouble with the IRS.
Because a lot of the times it says like on like giveaway rules and stuff like that. If you read the terms, it's like you can't sell it within the first month. So people go broke because they were given this crazy gift and they can't afford it.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, Steve giving these people Ferraris and stuff, it's like the most expensive car you can have. What the aftermath of that is like? Like, is it under their name? Is it under Steve's name and they can just drive it forever?
Yeah, how do you claim
they
it
go
on
to
the
sell
taxes? And
Yeah.
I know George Clooney, I remember there's an article on George Clooney, he made like 10 of his friends millionaires, but he gave them $1 million, and then he gave them $300,000 on top of it to pay the taxes on the $1 million.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is cool. I've heard that story. He, like, apparently took his buddies out for dinner at this place in Mexico, and it was like 10 of his best friends from college or whatever. This is right after he sold Casamigos. And he was like, all right, everyone, I want everyone to reach under the table. And there was an envelope with $1 million in there.
That's great.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Man, that's...
It's like, I would never fucking do that. I'm kidding.
Well, it's an awkward thing, like money is like an awkward thing, and it's like...
Well, it's not
I mean,
really.
I can't picture George Clooney being awkward in any situation. Sure. But, like, here's a crazy thing that happened. I went out to dinner with Steve Wozniak, one of the co-founders of Apple.
That's crazy.
Right? And, of course, the guy's fucking rich because he's a co-founder of Apple. And, like, when it came time for the check to come, it's like Steve Wozniak just pipes up. He says, since I picked the restaurant, I'm paying the tab. I'm covering the check. And I just felt there was so much to that because it's like, I felt what he was really saying was, I'm not paying for dinner because I'm fucking rich. I'm paying because I picked the restaurant. And it was important to him, it felt to me, to make that distinction because it's his way of having boundaries, like...
And he didn't want to, like, disrespect
anyone
who might be like, I can pay for my own meal.
I was super impressed by it. Like, it felt like healthy boundaries, and he said it joyfully, like, I picked the restaurant, I love this place, and that's why I'm paying.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think for George Clooney, it was like, listen, I just made $500 million. Like, I don't care how much you guys make. I just want to give some. He's like, Steve will do it. That's that kind of style.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. How do you know about that? Because that's the other thing that makes it weird is when you draw attention to it.
Which?
The
George
George
Clooney.
Clooney thing.
How do I know that story?
Like,
Yeah.
Well, I've heard the story too, but yeah, did he tell people or did his friends tell people?
Right. It's kind of cougar.
He did, and he wrote the own article about himself.
No, exactly. Oh, you're saying, like, who did he tell afterwards?
Yeah. How did this get?
how do we know?
I gave my buddies at the bar, like,
Well, dude,
by the way, I just gave my buddies like $10 million, so.
I mean,
I hate those YouTube videos where people are like, all right, we're going to go pay people's rent, and then they go door to door and film how good of a deed they're doing. But I'm like,
I hate
bro,
that
do
shit
that
too.
without the cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of cringy.
I agree. I completely agree.
It always rubs me the wrong way, like the artificial positivity, the Good Samaritan shit for views. But then again, at the same time, it makes people happy. That's why that content's popular.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm a little torn about it.
Sure.
Well, just look at it and watch it and know that that guy is just doing it for selfish reasons because he gets a lot of views probably.
But even if it's self-serving, he also just paid those people's rent. Like, they're not complaining. They're like, yeah, I
Right.
mean, you did that for yourself, but also my rent is now paid for the year. So
Yeah.
it's helping people, but it is very self-serving. So
Yeah.
I agree. It's such a paradox. To
well,
like,
then maybe
is
he
it right
should,
or not?
maybe they should donate the money that they make from that video to break even
Maybe
or
they do.
something.
I don't
Or
know.
they should like take the money back.
Yeah.
Just so, like, you know, there's not like a
After they
double intention
cut.
there. It's like, no, this is just for YouTube. And
Yeah.
just for the video.
We're not
actually
not
paying you
sure
anymore.
anymore.
Right.
Look at it.
This way, there's no confusion. It's completely self-serving.
You didn't actually think we were going to do that, did you? Oh, my God.
But only after the cameras stop rolling.
Yeah,
Just take it back.
exactly.
Yeah, just take it back.
I just want to throw it out there.
Cut.
That
All right.
I do all kinds of that stuff, like, without ever even mentioning it. Just want to put that out there.
Same. I mean, you wouldn't believe this stuff. I'm not going to mention it, though, but it's it's crazy.
That's so funny. So I'm curious about the app that you made. How long did it take you to make the app? And then I know there's two different thoughts because you. What are you laughing at over here?
I'm just about. I've never mentioned it. I'm laughing at my
And I
own
would
joke.
never mention it, but I've given a lot away. I really
Just know
I really
How much?
helped.
I
It's
don't
a
know.
crazy amount.
47,000.
Really-
But other than that,
I would never say this publicly, but just between
that's
us.
great. No. Okay, I had a question. So you made an app, and it was top of the Apple Store for
Yeah.
apps. Okay. Did it cost you a lot of money to make the app? Because I've had the idea to make some apps, and
He's had a million ideas. He's
And so when you bring them to these companies that make the apps for you, they're like, okay, it's gonna be like $100,000. And then there's other people like, no, we can make these apps for like, 5-10 grand. My question is, if you're gonna go with a company that's gonna make an app for you for like $1,000 to $5,000, chances are it's probably not gonna get on the Apple Store. You're better off paying the $100,000 for like the software, and you have better chances at having a better. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
it sounds like the people who only charge 5 or 10 grand are gonna take a revenue share, right?
No, I mean, I don't know. It depends how complex the app is.
but
'Cause if
can I make an app myself without going to a firm and doing that, and then I get it on the Apple Store, and my chances are pretty good?
Yeah, you could do that. Anyone.
Cody's expression is like, how do I be kind and gentle? right here?
Yeah.
Listen, it's been a long time since I programmed or wrote a line of code or, even opened up like Xcode, which is a program that you use to make apps. So I don't even know what the current landscape is like. I really don't. I know that, people, the app kind of golden era, like the gold rush age is kind of over in terms of apps.
Yeah.
Now everyone's like crypto. That's what everyone's focused on now.
Wow, dude.
In the tech world.
So now both of these guys' ears just perked up. They love crypto.
I like
Really?
crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you invested into crypto?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, of course.
No, I mean, not of course. It only. I actually bought Bitcoin in 2012.
Nice.
Like when I read an article about it. Like I said, I used to work for a startup. I was a software engineer, so I was super, involved in reading all the tech news and I read hacker news all the time. And
Did you see this documentary called Shiny Flakes
No.
on Netflix? It's about a fucking teenage drug lord who became like fucking like this on the dark web or whatever out of his childhood bedroom at his parents' house. And it's it all happened in Germany. This fucking kid had like a ton of drugs in his bed, like actually a ton. And like all kinds. And this documentary on Netflix is it was made in German, but it's overdubbed and it's completely watchable.
Huh.
My girl and I, Lux, we watched the whole thing and we were just fucking.
it was on the Silk Road. He was sending.
I don't know
that
about
shit out?
I've never heard of Silk Road.
Silk Road was
okay.
a dark web, or how you used to buy drugs.
I think this kid had the fucking website just on the regular web. I don't know.
the bright way.
Smart guy.
So you bought a Bitcoin, and what was a Bitcoin at that time?
I think it was $200. I think it was
Jesus.
2013, and I bought it for around 150 to $200. And I didn't have a ton of money back then, so I, that even was like a huge risk. It was like, this is
Big
a
investment.
decent amount of my rent this month. But this is a really cool idea, and I kind of believe in this. I could see how this would be gigantic in the future. And then last year was like the first time that I actually put like real money into into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now I've been like doing the NFT thing over the past couple weeks.
Have you had success? So you're selling NFTs?
I sold one. Well, I'm trading them. I'm doing the day trading NFTs, I guess, flipping them. Yeah, I made $9,000 yesterday.
Just on getting art, flipping it.
Yeah. I couldn't fucking believe it.
So the NFT gold rush is still ongoing?
Yes, it's in the middle of it right now. I think. I don't know. I've only been doing it for a week, so. Last week I bought my first one to try and flip it, just to try and learn, and then every day I've been like spending a couple hours learning about it. And to my knowledge right now, I think it's like, you know, the peak of it. So it's like a good time to get in and try to make some money.
Well, what do you think next?
There's so many revenue streams that I'm just sitting on my ass not getting around to.
Twitch.
Yeah,
NFTs, OnlyFans.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dude, drops. God damn.
You mean like merch drops?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's time though. Like people have been doing merch drops forever.
But there's a lot of ways for people to make money when they think that, you know, there's only one way to make money: go to a 9-to-5 job, collect a check. But dude, you can reinvent yourself. There's a ton of cash to be made out there.
Yeah,
I feel like that a lot of people don't realize that.
Right. Yeah, especially like in the creator economy right now.
Jesus, dude.
Do you have a Patreon?
I don't.
So for our podcast, we do like one episode that we put out for free every week, and then in the same filming session, we'll film another hour, and we'll put that up for our Patreon subscribers. And that's worked really well for us. We have like 23,000 monthly paying customers, which is great because it's like guaranteed income that we can just put back into the company and buy more stuff for the podcast and make the show better.
Dude, that's kind of fucking epic. Do you decide after the fact which hour will be free and which hour will be paid? Does this sometimes flip-flop? Or
It doesn't. It's always... We're always a little bit more like loose and relaxed in the bonus one because it's like... It's behind a paywall, so it's like...
Right.
Not everyone can see it, so we're kind of like... Yeah, we talk a little bit more shit and stuff like that.
Like, dude, Steve will do it. Posted on Instagram, like, night before last. That he says, I'm streaming on Twitch from North Korea. I'm like, come on, get the fuck out. And then he says, link in bio. So I'm like, dude, I gotta fuck this. This is for fucking real. So I open up my Twitch app, which is like, got dust all over it. And he's doing his gambling thing. Like, the first thing I hear him say is like, dude, we fucking lost everything. we were up $200,000. Now we have nothing. Like,
Jesus,
that's Steve will do it. And
we're in North Korea. Fuck.
And it really,
how are we going to get out?
He was in between two crazy statues, which really did seem to lend credibility to North Korea. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to fire. I'm in the Twitch app. And I'm like, yo, dog, are you seriously in North Korea? I write this comment, try to post it. It says, you have to be a subscriber to post comments. And I'm like, motherfucker.
So you pulled out your credit card.
And the comments are just boom, 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 like every one of these people is just paying him.
Yeah.
I didn't pull out my credit card, but I did fucking make a mental note to stop fucking blowing it. I started thinking that, what if we had a live Twitch, just a fucking cell phone sitting here. So if you're a Twitch subscriber, or maybe or whatever, you can be at the podcast while it's happening.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Till that someone says the wrong thing that we wanted to edit out, but now it's live and it's
Right.
out there.
Yeah, but they're paying.
But you know what? The other thing we shouldn't be sleeping on release forms. We don't ever have to worry about that if people fucking sign a release form when
What, the guests?
Yeah.
Well, I think the video, like them acknowledging at the end that, like, hey, is there anything that you want us to...
But if it's going to be on Twitch, we want them to acknowledge in writing at the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
So then I'd be fucked.
You're fucked. That thing that you want to cut out is not going anywhere, dude.
I wouldn't get my green card.
No.
Yeah, are you in the
idea.
process of getting your green card?
I got it. I'm just waiting for my status, my immigration status to switch, which takes like 6 months. So I can't leave the country.
So you've been here on a work visa the whole time?
Yeah.
That's
10
great.
years now, or longer than that.
Really?
12 years, yeah.
I've
been on 6 different visas.
So do you get double taxed if you ever go back home? Like,
I was like removed from the Canadian tax system like a long time ago.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Because wasn't that an issue if you bought a house? They're like, well, you might have to declare double.
I think that like it is a question for residency. I think that's once you left and you're no longer a resident of Canada,
Yeah.
then it's like arguable that like why would you pay taxes there?
Although I've
you
heard
don't live there.
the American system is actually way more intense about that. Like it takes a few years. Like they still
Yeah.
come after if you move to like Portugal or something like that. They'll still come after you for taxes even if you're living there.
Because we're so in debt that it's fucking they do
I guess.
everything they can to make
Yeah,
as much
like
money.
I don't know if that's true, by the way. If a tax lawyer is listening to this, I'd love
Right.
to know the logistics of that.
Well, I'm looking at buying a property in Canada.
Oh, nice. Where?
In British Columbia.
Fuck yeah. Like by Tofino?
Not Tofino, not Vancouver Island, but like suburb of Vancouver.
Nice.
Like this place.
That's
And,
incredible. I love it there.
Yeah, like I'm really stoked for it. But if I've got a property there and a property here, then it like the tax. I need a tax person
Yeah.
too. So if you're
Yeah.
a tax person, hit me up.
Yeah, reach out on the website. Do you have to worry about global warming in that area? Because the
Yeah,
Pacific
man.
Northwest is pretty...
The Pacific Northwest is a hot spot.
But it doesn't make sense because I feel like it's raining there all the time.
It's summers that are prohibitively cold, or sorry, hot now. Like we got fires going on there, but
That's just everywhere now.
I know,
So
dude.
Think about
depressing.
global warming, Scott. It's global. It's kind of everywhere.
right. With the NFTs, once you like sort of announce your involvement, like what about all the comments from the people saying, "But what about the environment? You're destroying the environment."
I never said that I was doing this.
Okay.
I just started because it's not like it's not like I'm doing the Logan Paul thing where I'm like making an NFT that has my face on it and I'm like, hey, buy my NFT. I'm more like in the midst trading these things with all the kids that are doing that right now.
But that's why people... Because the problem is people are doing it on the Ethereum platform. If they do it on the Cardano platform, there's 90% less energy to make an NFT.
Oh, how about
I think...
that?
I did get those chirps though, like
Yeah.
because when I first like my friend who's an artist made me a little picture and I bought it just to like see what this was like a couple months ago just to see what it was all about, and so I posted. I was like, "This is my first NFT purchase," and every comment was like, "Well, you're burning like the
don't
fires are because of you," and what about the environment concerns? And I'm like, I don't. It's just it was a chain that said D's nuts on it. That was the picture, and I was like, this isn't that serious. I don't. What did I do wrong?
That's great. I don't understand it, man. So like, why isn't email destroying the fucking?
Yeah, I know, exactly.
It's electronic.
It's like you take a flight in your life. That's probably
Yeah.
just as bad.
Right. Or
Right.
you live in a house. Like, it's
Yeah, I
all...
know.
Right.
We're all destroying everything.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, but Cardano, huh?
I guess because it's like proof of work versus proof of stake.
Right.
And I think the proof of work is like the computers that are like constantly mining for these, and that platform is proof of stake, which means God knows what. But that's like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
All right, so
look into that.
let's break down the top revenue streams. I
OnlyFans,
OnlyFans number 1.
Patreon number 2,
People love what I got
Pornhub.
going on underneath this.
Pornhub
Yeah.
number 3.
It's mostly
Well-
all porn, honestly.
I mean, like podcasting is legit revenue.
Yeah,
right?
I think probably the most lucrative thing for me personally right now is my YouTube channel.
Okay.
I think just because I've been doing it for so long, my CPMs have gone up year over year, and I think I've figured out how to make content that
Stays
people enjoy,
monetized.
but also like is the most efficient in terms of monetization.
Right. And how often are you uploading?
Like 2 to 3 times a week now.
Damn.
So I have like a production assistant who helps me generate like ideas and find content and stuff like that, and then I have 2 to 3 editors that help me out. And this is all like within the past year and a half that I've figured out how to finally hire and delegate. I used to just do everything myself,
So 2 to 3
and then I was
times,
just like, this is not scalable. I'm going insane.
2 to 3 times per week, and that's not including podcasts.
That's
or
not.
Isn't?
That's just on my personal channel.
Damn.
And then like I do like 2 to 3 brand deals on that channel a month too, which is also really good. I mean, that's like equal to the AdSense basically.
Is there an agency that's soliciting your brand deals?
I'm signed with UTA,
Okay, there you go.
so they get me like all of those.
Wow.
And then it's that, and then I think second most lucrative probably is the podcasts, just because with
Right.
ads and Patreon combined,
So AdSense actually competes with sponsor deals for branded
It
content?
does, yeah. It does.
Wow.
YouTube went through this period where like nobody was making money on AdSense because people, like advertisers, were so freaked out about, their
Yeah.
content. That they'd be advertising on content that wasn't suitable for their brand or whatever.
Right.
So there's like that's when the adpocalypse happened.
Sure.
And nobody made any money, and then it came back harder than ever. For
Okay.
me, I don't know. I don't know if it's the same with other people, but
It's not the same with me because
not.
I like, I have trouble keeping those dollar signs green.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
It is. You do kind of have to like censor yourself a little bit, which is a little bit shitty.
I mean, whatever. Like, I'm sure you don't have to censor yourself too much. I just, like, the nature of what I do is, like...
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
that video that you posted of you guys fighting the anesthesia was so fucking
Oh,
funny,
dude, thanks so much, man.
Just those shots of you like trying
Yeah.
so hard to fight it, I was dying at that.
Yeah, well, thanks, dude.
Dude, you held out too. Like the doctor had to kind of like push Steve's
Yeah.
head down because he was like, even when he couldn't talk, like your subconscious was like, I'm staying.
I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
Dying watching
Yeah,
that.
dude.
That's
Well,
so
thank
Do you
you.
even remember being in that state of mind, like trying to fight it?
Nah. Nah.
Autopilot, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, dude, thanks so much again. So AdSense is killing it. The brand deals is killing it. I've struggled to get brand deals. I think the brands just are kind of freaked out by, like, the poo cannon.
Yeah,
like-
yeah. Why would they be? I mean,
Right.
are you signed with anyone?
No. Like, I've got an agent just for touring.
Okay.
Like
UTA or
I'm ICM,
okay.
and I love my touring agent Adam Genovizian. He's great, and it's just that, like, for some reason, like, all the other departments of the agency just never, like, showed me love. Like, I just, like, gathered dust everywhere. Nothing ever happened, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna, pull out and just stick with touring.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good time to revisit because I have, like, done a fair amount of work to sort of...
Yeah, you
like,
should hit them up for sure. I'm sure the digital, like, part of that industry or the agency would love to start getting you shit.
It's an interesting idea, man. And so
Agents aren't the most forward thinking.
Right.
They're not the most, like, I mean, I love my agent. She's amazing. But just in terms of, like, being proactive about stuff. Agents mostly, in my experience, have been, like, very reactive.
Right.
It's like
They-
you come
they
to them and
pick
you're
up
like,
the
look at
phone.
all the shit I'm getting. And they're like, oh, we'll try and get you some stuff. It's like,
Let's go to
no
lunch.
one's, like, doing research, like, on your channel
Right.
Yeah.
to
So
see.
you're saying that UTA is doing that for you?
Yeah, I mean, my agent used to be my manager, and then she got a job for UTA. So, like, she still has that. Managers are more, like, intimate, I guess, where they really learn, like,
Yeah.
the ins and outs of your career. And she's been with me now for, like, 7 years or something.
Cool.
So now she's my agent, but typically, like, I don't know, agents are, I don't know, they're just always busy with having a million clients,
Right. Are they're very good at picking up the phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, sorry. Picking up the phone to answer calls.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Not really
Not to-
dialing.
yeah, exactly.
Are you exclusive with UTA in the digital branded deals?
Full screen used to get me those as well.
Yeah.
So it was like, but now the
So-
full screen's gone. They don't anymore.
I got an important question to ask you. Your whoop strap.
Yeah.
What's your HRV?
You want
What's
to
your
I'm
see what my
average?
saying-
recovery was today? Let's
Because
see.
your dad and your mom both do, like,
Yeah, they're
in
insane.
triathlons
Oh.
and Ironmans.
Forgot to turn it off after my workouts. I've been working out for 4.5 hours.
See, that's why. But I'm just curious to see what your resting HRV is.
Today was 59.
59.
59. Wow. I'd expect you to be over 100.
Yesterday, or like last week, is 54, 60.
So you stay at
Oh wait,
HRV.
my resting heart rate?
No,
HRV.
Your HRV is the
Heart rate variability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So what is that like? How does that compare to
It'll
yours?
say right here.
Yeah, 48,
Oh, 40. Yeah, okay.
60,
Oh, dude.
And you're-
54.
Yeah, you're.
What are you
you're
guys?
an anomaly. I'm at, like, same with you, 50 or 60. Steve's at, like, 130,
What?
140.
Yeah.
So do you get like 100% recovery every day?
No. And recover, but the higher recovery, the higher the HRV.
Right.
Yeah, let's not like alienate the listeners. I mean, we love Whoop, and shout out to the Whoop Whoop.
Kill two birds with one stone.
I love this thing.
It's pretty rare that we record a podcast and it goes up the next day.
Yeah.
This one's going live tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool.
And today they
Happy
announced,
Thursday, people.
Yeah, dude, fucking right on. Today, the Paramount Pictures announced that Jackass Forever is not, in fact, coming out on October 22nd, but they're pushing it to February 4th next year due to COVID.
Jackass
What?
for later.
Yep.
Oh, because they want it in
Because
theaters.
of the Delta, the Delta, whatever. So, yeah, February 4th is the
Okay.
new release date. My dad speculates that COVID's going to be even worse in February then.
You think so?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm stoked for the new Jackass.
Well, thanks, man.
We were watching.
It's really fucking
We just
good.
watched the original Jackass movie like 2 months ago.
We were still figuring out what we were doing with the original Jackass
So
movie. It was
fucking
just
good.
kind of felt like, it had its own quality to it. Then Jackass number 2, we had figured out what we were doing.
Yeah.
That was the masterpiece.
Yeah.
Jackass number 3 was the biggest financial success, but like not even the best movie. And this fourth one is will never beat number 2. But we smashed number 3, dude. We walked all over number 3, dude.
Like like financially?
No.
Or just
I mean, it's
quality-wise?
not out yet. So just
Oh yeah,
quality-wise.
yeah.
The quality-wise,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
so
stoked.
fucking good.
I'm so stoked.
It's so fucking good. And dude, so we had this call with the cast where they announced to us that they're gonna push the movie. And Dave England's like, no, hands on his head. He's like, you could just see the agony in his face. And I said, Dave, dude, what are you talking about? Like, the trailer came out. There's a big buzz around the movie. Like, we're kind of hot shit right now. And the second that movie comes out, we're washed up losers again. The more they can kick it down the road, the longer we're hot shit.
There you go. You're like, I hope this thing never comes out.
Right. Carter 5, baby.
I hope COVID keeps getting worse, actually. Fuck yeah.
Dude, Carter 5, baby. Carter 5.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. So we got AdSense, we got brand deals, we got podcasts, and we just
Merch.
got into the merch drops.
Yeah. I've done merch for a while, but finally I'm with a company that's super organized, really proactive. So
What's the company?
it's called Kozak.
Okay.
They're amazing. Shout out to Kozak.
And
I love
what do
them.
they do? Is it like Teespring or something?
No, they're just the guy owns a factory like somewhere close to LA, and so he prints everything himself.
And fulfills the orders?
Yes, they do
Okay.
everything. So like it's typically I've been with merch companies that do pre-orders, so like they'll wait to see how many you sell, and then they'll go into distribution
Right.
and ship them out. So that takes a long time for people, and then they're like, "Where's my merch?" Like a month later,
Yeah,
and
fuck
then
that.
I've been with people that do shit right away, but aren't as proactive in terms of planning your upcoming drops and analyzing what's worked and what hasn't worked. They're more of like you're on your own. We're gonna print and ship. That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And these guys are a perfect mix of everything, where it's like people get their merch really fast. They help you plan out drops. They have great relationships with amazing artists. I'm thrilled, honestly. So they've helped me like increase my revenue, but it took me like 6 years
Dude.
to find a really good relationship.
What about music? Music has to have been in the top 3. Because, dude, I'm getting back in the music game. I got to.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a minute there before I got sober, I was trying to make comedy rap.
Yeah.
And
It's fun.
It's fun, dude. I
Yeah.
know.
You got to
but-
give yourself a timeline, though.
I know I do.
What-
I've got one idea for a song that's fucking gonna be a banger. I've got 2 ideas for songs that are gonna be bangers.
How many songs you want to have on the album, dude? 6?
I mean, what do you think, dude? Gotta have like at least 10, right?
Well, what are we
12?
talking? Yeah, probably for an album like 12. EP you could do 4 or 5 songs.
Or you could just start dropping singles,
Yeah,
And
do
just
that.
see,
Single
like, how
after
they
single
stream.
after single.
Is this a good rap song? I shit my pants. Like, damn, I shit my pants.
Why is this based off of True Life?
Yes, that is hot.
That's gold.
Did this just happen to
I can see
you
that popping
recently?
Nah, but
I like it.
I mean, I have shit my pants before. And
I mean,
know-
that's why it's sick, because it's relatable.
I know. I've shit my pants before, and I think I can really convey that emotion.
Yeah.
You know?
Translate it. I think it's good.
I made one that I never released. I still want to release it because I want to shoot a video for it, but it was called She's a Freak. And the first verse is about how she's like, I like meet this girl in the club and I want to take her home. And then we get home and she's a total freak, but it's like she's an actual monster. Like she's got like wings and like gills and just like she's a complete freak.
Yeah, that'd be a good video.
I've got a tune like that about my actual fiance.
Okay.
Where it's like a beautiful love song. She's the perfect woman for me. Like, our love is so real. But then that fucking week fucking on the calendar shows up.
Okay.
It's just a song about what a bitch my girl is when she's on the rack.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's going to love that.
That's going to go over real well.
Well, no, she's already into it.
Oh, really?
She's already down.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, whatever. Maybe not the way I just worded it. but yeah, she just it's called the Angel and Demon,
It's not called You're a Total Bitch on the Rack. Because that's
my
a dope
chick's
name.
Bitch. Because that's pretty dope. Man, I didn't hit the timer, dude. How long have we been going?
Oh,
Not that I have
about an hour.
I feel like this hasn't been, for me, my best job of running a podcast, but it's also been very informal and we're just hanging out.
It might have been my fault because
No, you did great.
I want to hang with you guys because, like I said, I watched the show, so it's like an honor for me to. When you listen to a podcast, you're like, I wish I could ask them that. So I took this opportunity to
Dude, I love
ask
it.
you guys questions. And
Wow.
I'm enjoying this a lot. This is great.
I think it's been a fun hang.
It's been a fun hang. Yeah.
And I don't mind saying that Cody Ko is a fucking hot dude.
Hot dude.
You think
hot
so?
Hang.
Yeah.
I think you're highly attractive.
Even with
And
the
I don't
little,
mind-
This
little
AC
girl haircut?
is no
The
match.
mullet?
Do you have 2 earrings?
It's not
or
even a
one
mullet.
earring?
It's just one earring.
Oh,
It's just like a
gotcha.
legitimately 8-year-old girl haircut.
I think
it.
you're legit hot, dude. I used to have a joke in my stand-up.
He's like, I used to have a crush on you.
I used to have a joke in my stand-up. I'd be like, man, what a great crowd, dude. There's a fucking hot dude right here. And then I'd say, that's me, man. I'm perfectly comfortable saying when a dude is hot,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like most guys, if you ask them, is this guy hot? They'd be like, dude, what do you think? I'm some kind of gay dude.
Yeah, I'm not gay, man.
Right, but they know exactly when to be jealous of a hot dude talking to their girl.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
clearly every guy knows when another guy's hot.
Oh, yeah.
You know a hot dude when you see one.
Oh, yeah.
And
No question.
I'm down with admitting that. I'm down with calling it out. You're hot. So, you're not welcome to talk to my girl. And then like right here, you're not welcome to talk to my girl. You're not. You're good.
Yeah.
And then that's the joke.
You could take her to dinner.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about you at all.
Yeah.
You're fine. I got no worries.
Yeah.
You can take her.
Take her to Belize for the weekend.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be disturbed if Lux came home and she was like, dude, I have a friend from work that wants to hang out. His name's Cody. And you look at his Instagram, you're like, God damn it.
Not fucking cool, dude.
No,
You're
but
not-
you do appreciate a good-looking man.
I do.
think more than most. You're
More
apt
than
to call
most.
it out.
Yeah,
I would
did
say.
I call you the gorgeous Paul Brisske on this?
I don't know on this episode if you did. Probably you were distracted by Cody's eyes.
Right. I like to surround myself with a hot dude, so this has been a very enjoyable hour.
But you told me I was good-looking the day I met you.
Oh, good.
Do you remember? I met
In
you at
Peru?
VidCon. I don't know if you even remember.
Oh, at VidCon?
Like Yuka brought me over to you to meet you. He's like, hey, this is Paul, by the way. And you're like, hey, good looking dude. It's like the first thing you said to
I
me.
say that
What's up, dude?
regularly.
You're hot as shit, by the way.
Dude, I say that regularly, but only when it's a hot dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
I'm a straight
standards.
shooter.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that because I get ripped apart on my channel for.
No.
For what?
Well, just because I've established this energy of I make fun of things, so people are like, it's free game to make fun of you, which it totally is. I'm down to make fun of myself, but it's the compliments are pretty few and far between.
Is there anything that ever just hurts
Nowadays.
your feelings, though? Or are you pretty water
No, I
off a
think-
duck's back to all the
I
criticism?
think everybody gets sensitive. You don't know.
I'm pretty, and sorry to interrupt, but it's as I get older, I get more fragile. I feel like,
Yeah.
but
It's so
also
funny.
more you don't give a fuck anymore.
I was telling Paul, because Paul hadn't been around for the last couple episodes, and people thought it was some conspiracy, and they saw me with the pillow right here, and they're like, dude, Scott's covering up the soundboard because Paul's not around, and I'm like, I have a pillow over me because I'm fat and I'm hiding my fucking gut that I'm embarrassed about, dude. Like, I wrote that back on the comment, and it's just so funny that people think different conspiracies, but I'm just like, no, dude, like.
What to me is heartening is that people care enough to pay that much attention. Like, that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're like it's
Yeah,
like when an actress is pregnant on a sitcom, you know, they're always trying to like hide it, like different ways.
Are you calling me pregnant?
No, I was adding on to your.
No, I'm
thing.
mortified how much weight I've gained, but like, fuck it.
The reality of
Yeah.
why Paul was gone is that we never changed to lavender for you. That Paul was gone because he wanted to propose to his girl and took 2 fucking weeks to do it. And then once he finally came back, then he went to some other bro's bachelor party, and both of these were like distant, like interstate trips.
Yeah, you have any more people you're gonna propose to in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, you got any more
No,
fucking?
Any
there's
more
weddings
bachelor
coming.
parties?
There's a wedding now for that the bachelor party was for.
Or is that going to be
So
another
it's
trip to Florida?
No, but it's a trip
to
the
Turkey for
Midwest.
7 months?
Yeah, it's on the moon.
Isn't it just like
Yeah.
a million weddings now?
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Yeah, it's just like every weekend. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
How old are you, Cody?
Which is I'm 30.
You're 30?
Almost 31. I'm 31 in November, so I'm pretty close.
See,
But it's
you
just-
guys are at the age where people get married. I'm at the age where people get divorced.
yeah.
So I don't have anything to go to for the next while.
So I just put it together too. Scott's like, I'm like, what's he doing with the pillow now? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's hot as balls. We have an air conditioner here in full blast, and Scott's wearing a fucking winter coat.
Yeah, I have like a body dysmorphia, dude.
Scott, you're beautiful.
I feel beautiful.
Good.
You've always been gorgeous, man.
But
Yeah.
you don't call me gorgeous anymore, dude.
Well,
Because you got fat.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm just kidding. I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Well, I think on that note, dude, what can we drive people to?
Tomorrow. Today.
You know, Jackass 4
Dude, I
coming out
want
in February.
Coming
I
out
want to
eventually.
drive some traffic to the Truth or Dab to go buy the Butthole
yeah,
Destroyer comes out today.
We just fucking came out with Steve-O's Butthole Destroyer. I'm so scared that someone's going to be like, oh, cool, let me pour it in my eye, because this is not like to do fucking silly shit with. The top 3 ingredients are the 3 hottest peppers on earth.
So it's really that hot.
It's so
yeah,
fucking
dude,
hot.
the first thing on the ingredient list is what there's the most of in the bottle, and that's scorpion, ghost, and Carolina Reaper.
That's the filler.
Scorpion
The
cum,
3
spicy
hottest
hunter.
peppers on earth.
Yeah,
Fill up
that's-
the bottle more than anything else.
Did you do Truth or Dab or whatever?
Yeah.
So like,
did.
how does it compare to the bomb or like that spiciest one? Because one of them fucked me up. I felt drunk afterwards. I had like a
shit,
solid
tomorrow-
hour after. I had like a head buzz.
Really?
Yeah, it
That's
was
right.
crazy.
Tomorrow's September 2nd when
Yeah, it
Truth
came
or Dab
out
comes
today.
out. Yeah, so,
nice.
Oh, wow.
so it's a double upload day, and it's me and Wee Man on Truth or Dab.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Except for us, it's Truth and Dab.
Because you just do it every time.
There's no question that we cared to avoid, and there was no wing we cared to avoid. Plus, we all dipped into the Butthole Destroyer.
And how does it compare to the bomb?
I mean, I think, like, candidly, before we recorded the Truth or Dab, I asked Sean Evans. I said, is it like gonna bum you guys out if I point out that like Butthole Destroyer is hotter than anything you've ever had on your show? Because they're like kind of celebrity centric.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they can't really like give like these huge celebrities Butthole Destroyer because it's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Is it that hot compared to the shit on there?
I think so, but then again, let me not disparage hot ones. They got some hot ass shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even really sure. All I know is that Butthole Destroyer is so fucked up that when we were doing taste tests, I straight up tapped out by putting a little bit on a tortilla chip and was fucking like putting ice cubes in my mouth like 45 minutes later.
Damn.
Yeah, let this be the disclaimer. Do not fuck around with this hot sauce. It's hot as fuck, dude. Don't put it in your eye. Definitely don't put it in your ass.
No, definitely don't put it in your eye. I'm thinking about putting it in my eye.
Wow.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I almost did like what was it like yesterday?
Yeah, yeah.
I talked about actually doing it yesterday, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not. I'm good. All right, man. So Cody Co on Instagram.
Yeah, or YouTube, or whatever. Tiny Meat Gang is my podcast.
Dude, epic.
And your music, Tiny Meat Gang.
Yep.
Check them
Yep,
out.
on Spotify. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It was
fucking an honor,
a blast,
man.
and it's
An honor, and I hadn't even put it together. Oh yeah, that's right. That we fucking hung out in Vancouver, and then we bailed
in Montreal.
Yeah.
Oh, was it Montreal?
Yeah, Montreal. The Montreal Comedy Festival.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the Montreal, Vancouver, and Toronto that year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
I remember that. That after party was kind of sick.
Yeah, at the bar, like in
Uh-huh.
the hotel. Yeah, it was pretty fun. And Montreal's a cool place.
Yeah, I love it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks,
Doc.
dude.
Yeah, thank
I appreciate
you,
it, man.
Fuck yeah.
Great to meet you.
Nice to
Hell
meet you.
yeah.
Great to meet you
Nice
guys.
to see you again.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I was not kidding about I'm getting ready to bone Lux. That's what I'm saying. So, there's been a few times where we actually recorded the podcast on the day before it went out. Like, it's exciting, man. You love a good current podcast. You know what else I love? You, man, for sticking around to the very end. You ever see this guy? He's a real jerk. But you aren't. Thank you. Yeah.